Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I am your host, Empire Jeff, back with another episode coming to you on a Friday night. No Laker game tonight, but the Lakers in New York City tomorrow night to take on the New York Knicks, trying to go for two in a row on this road trip, man, and try to somewhat salvage this trip, man. If they can somehow get the 3-2 heading into Charlotte, man, I'm when it comes to this team, man, we've been here too many times before, man. We've been here too many times before where it's like, okay, they're turning a corner. Are they turning things around? I'm almost to the I'll believe it when I see it stage with this team. But tomorrow night's game is pretty big, man. It's pretty big because if they're able to get it, and it's going to be tough. If they're able to get that win tomorrow night, then they have a chance to turn this road trip around and maybe change the little narratives going in to the trade deadline on Thursday. But and then obviously we'd have one more game against Charlotte. But like I said, after last night's game, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and over celebrate that win against the Celtics. I loved it. We needed it. I'm happy we got it. But I'm on to tomorrow night's game. I'm on to the next one. And the Vando news today was terrible, man. It was terrible because he was kind of our cheat code out there. He was helping us kind of turn this around a little bit. His activity, his influence, his disruptiveness out there on the basketball court really made the Lakers a problem for these other teams, man. And, if you get Braun back and AD back, I don't know where they stand as far as playing tomorrow night. But, that could have been, like I said, that's a jumpstart type win, like I said last night. And that's why every time we feel like we're turning a corner, it's like someone else goes down. And it's like, why do the basketball gods hate us so much? What did we do? What did the Lakers do? And it just kind of feels that way right now with what happened with Vando. We don't entirely know what the exact injury is. They still got to do evaluation to determine how long he's even going to be out for. So it could be anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks, or it could be that he needs a procedure and could be out the rest of the season. So not good when you hear that. It didn't look good when it happened. I remember when I was on playback and we were watching it was like those non-contact injuries, man. And he literally damn near ran straight to the bench and then straight to the locker room and never saw the floor again after that. So those type of injuries are scary. And immediately I thought it was Achilles. I'm happy to hear at least to date they haven't said that it's that. So that's possibly a good sign there. But outside of that, if it's some type of, they said X-rays are negative. So I was thinking maybe stress fracture, but they said X-rays negative. So I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. They were kind of weren't really fully. There wasn't a real legitimate update on it today, so we're gonna have to wait to see what happens there. But if you haven't already, I put a link in the chat here. Do me a favor, head on over to playback.tv/EmpireJeffTV. Go on and do me a favor. Go over there right now. Become a member to my channel over there. It's free. Create a playback.tv account. Excuse me, got the hiccups, man. Create a playback.tv account over there and go over and follow Empire Jeff TV over there, man. So playback.tv/Empire Jeff TV. I'm going to be calling the Lakers and New York Knicks game tomorrow night. So go and get the head start over there. Go get signed up. Go join. I have 20 VIP passes to give away. You can watch the game with me on the screen, but it's going to be the first 20 people that pull up there tomorrow night. So head on over there and join. I'll remind you a couple times during the stream today. I'm new on the platform. I had my first game against the Celtics over there. It was a great game, obviously. Great time to have the first one on there when I thought my first game was going to be horrible because of everyone being out. Ended up being a gem. So head on over there, join the member, become a member over there on my playback, and watch the game with me tomorrow night. Would greatly appreciate it. But outside of that, what are you guys feeling going into tomorrow night's game, man? Are you guys feeling confident? Do you feel like last night's win might have been a little too good to be true, and we fall back down to earth tomorrow night? And are we going to lose the next 2 games on the road trip and head back to LA, head back towards the trade deadline, just in the gutter again? Like, is that where we're heading, or do you think we have a chance to win these next 2 games? I want to hear the pulse of the people here, but say it with your minds, not your hearts here. Like, you've watched this team all season, right? We've watched this team all season. I would say 80% of the season has been about we can't trust this team. 80% of the season, it's felt like we cannot trust this team. So after last night's game, is this going to be the other 20% headed into New York, or is it going to be that 80%? And that's what I'm trying to figure out and see what you guys thinking. So do you think they go 2-0 in these next 2? Do you think they go 1-1? So do you think they come home 3-3 on this trip, or do you think they come home 4-2? That's, I guess, what I'm trying to see what the pulse of the people think when it comes to this Laker team. Because like I said, every time we feel like we're turning a corner with this team, they just they just pull the football out from under us when we go to kick it. You know what I mean? So I'm having trouble believing that this team is going to, consistently turn that corner, and I need to see it with this team because, like I said, I've got excited before. I thought, okay, we're turning a corner, things are coming together, and then they just fall back to reality again, or another major injury happens. So keep in mind, Vando was a big part of what happened in that stretch when we were playing good. Then it slipped up again. He was a big part of obviously Austin Reeve offensively, but it was Vanderbilt's activity on defense that made those points, not trading bucket for bucket. You get what I mean? So his ability, what he did to disrupt that game on the defensive side of the ball and still be able to score a couple baskets himself is what made that game help get separation. So not being able to have him for a couple weeks, keep that in mind too. But just definitely want to see where everyone's at with that. So shout out to everyone who's pulling up the room. I wasn't very chat heavy yesterday in the beginning of the show, so I'll do a little bit more of that tonight. So I definitely appreciate you guys being patient as I kind of go back and forth with this format of a show with heavy dialogue and maybe a panel, and then another show where it's kind of Q&A and rock with the chat. So I'm going to be a little bit more heavy out the gate with the chat early in this show. I definitely appreciate you guys, holding it down and still riding with me even when I'm going heavy dialogue. So appreciate you guys. Festo, what's going on? Thank you for pulling up. Appreciate your support. What's up, Reg Dog? Appreciate you, brother. Chris Rivera says you need to change your name to Empire Goat. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. Man, I'm far from being a GOAT, but I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate you holding me in that regard and showing up to check me out from time to time over here. I greatly, greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you. Let's see. We got he who says Search and Jet. What's going on? Search. As I mentioned last night, Search is going to be away for a little while, tending to a family matter. Had a little bit of a family emergency, so prayers up to Search and his family. He may be listening, but he's not going to be modding for a bit. He's got more important things to deal with right now. So shout out to Search, man. That's our brother right there. And Search, if you need anything, don't hesitate to let us know, man. We got you and appreciate you, brother, man. Hope you and the family are well, man. Festo says, hit that like button. Hit that like. Let's get it. That's right. Appreciate you. Let me see here. Coming in. Let's get it. There you go. Hit that like. Exactly. Hit that like, man. We're trying to grow this channel. You know what I mean? So like I said, it's spreading around. And every time you guys hit that like button, it puts us in front of someone who maybe haven't seen us yet. So we got about 40 people in the building. 18 people have liked the video so far. So drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. JS, see when you're working, man. I appreciate you, man. No Cap 1. Hey, yo, what's going on, man? Thank you for pulling up. I appreciate you. What up, Cuba, man? What's going on? What is going on, man? Salute, Festo. Appreciate you, man. Jordan Pledger says, like your content, Jeff. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I like you being here. So thank you for pulling up. Like I said, trying to do this every night. I've been pretty consistent the last 2 weeks. I'm going to keep bringing it, man. I'm committed here, both here and on Playback TV. So make sure you subscribe to Empire Jeff TV here on YouTube and playback.tv/Empire Jeff TV to watch me break down games live over there tomorrow night, man. Appreciate y'all. Cuba says, rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Yeah, facts, man. Rest in peace. That's a legend, man. Certified legend. His art will live forever. When I was a kid, I was a huge Carl Weathers fan. Still was a Carl Weathers fan, man. But he was in some really, really, really huge movies and just truly, truly gifted individual. Rest in peace to him, man. I didn't even know. I don't know all the details. I just saw he passed. I don't know if he'd been ailing or sick or if it was sudden. I don't really know. But rest in peace to him. Prayers to his family. We lost a gem today. Incredible talent. And they don't make them like that anymore. I can tell you that. Rest in peace to that man. Indeed, man. Dennis says, Jeff, love the late night. I do love the late night, man. I'm a nightlife guy. I just got home, really. So I just got home. I was going to try to go live around 9 o'clock and ended a little earlier tonight, but got home a little after 10. I was like, let me fire up the boards here. Let me tap in with the people and see who's up right now. See who wants to come kick it with Jeffrey, man. But appreciate y'all for pulling up on a Friday night. I know you got plenty of places you can be, including other streams, and you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Insert name says, Jeff, great show. Insert, thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, man. Soda Search. We appreciate you, man. Appreciate you indeed. Kevin Hernandez says, hell. I don't know what's going on, but what's up, Kevin? Thanks for pulling up, bro. Chris Rivera says, is that Jeff on the table scratching? Nah, that's not me scratching. I don't have skills like that, man. But appreciate it. That beat is so fire, though. You know, it's funny when I toyed around, I had about 15 different beats that I was going to use on my intro, right? When I first started doing this show, 15 different ones. And I was like, I went through and I was like, the first one matters. That's the first time when I do an intro, they're going to hear it. I spent I listened to all of them, and this was the last one I heard. So I skipped through, and I got finished the 14th, and I had like 2 or 3 that I was like, okay, I like those. And then as soon as this one came on, I was like, oh, that's it right there. That's it right there. I rock with it heavy, and I felt the people would like it. And literally, my first show, people just kept saying, I love the music. Don't ever change the music. So when I started covering the Dodgers, I'm like, I want to put a different track on there. And I was wondering if people were going to be mad. So I did it. And everyone loved that too. But I intend to keep that beat. I may switch it up from time to time just to, just try something different. But that's going to be the staple and the mainstay. And I'm also going to add there's going to be some vocals added to it too soon. So we're going to have the instrumental version. We're going to have the vocal version. There'll be a remix version to it. There'll be a few different versions of the track. So it's coming. Me and my peoples are working on it. But right now, that instrumental, man, it's stupid fire, man. I love that track. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's going on, man? He says, happy Friday, yo. Thank you. Same to you, man. What's up, Raw? Thank you for pulling up. Appreciate you. As I mentioned, shout out to JSJ. Definitely appreciate you holding it down while Search is taking care of his family. So thank you, man. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Like I said, I saw you on over there at Lakers Fast Break. Shout out to them as well. So I saw you rocking multiple channels tonight doing what you guys do. You guys are great, man. These channels would not be what they are without you guys. So we greatly appreciate you, man. And listen to the moderators here, man. It's like tipping the bartender. Listen to your moderators, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Absolutely, man. Jordan says losing Vando is huge. Yeah, that is people were literally making fun of me a couple weeks ago. They're like, you're overrating Vando. You're counting on him too much. He's an offensive liability. He can't do anything. He can't score. He can't catch. He can't shoot. And I mean, like other channels were giving me hell when I mentioned it in their chats. Like everyone was kind of bashing me over pushing for Vando before he came back. I'm like, this team needs Vando. Well, he's not going to make that big a difference. He's not going to make. And then everybody came around to it about, 10 days ago. That's why I was like, yo, welcome to the Vando fan club. We've been expecting you because I've been trying to tell people, man, disruptors matter. If you look back at any championship team, there was always that one guy that mucked stuff up, that did stuff that the other team couldn't mess with. And having him out there to guard the perimeter is a true blessing out there, man. And we had him. It just sucks that Darvin Ham took so long to realize. It sounds like they were coming around. He was coming around to actually put that starting lineup back out there. And then Braun and AD sat out, and then he got hurt. Right when we were about to get the lineup that we wanted, he got hurt. And I was like, man, come on, man. That's why I said, what do we do to these basketball gods, man? Why are they punishing us like this? But who knows? Maybe hopefully he's out a couple of weeks and he comes back and we get that lineup that we want. But I don't know what this team will look like by then, post-trade deadline. I don't know what the record will look like, at that point. So it really sucks that this happened now, especially after a huge potential season-changing win. Potential. I'm still not willing to go there yet. Potential season-changing win, and then he gets hurt in that one. So it just really sucks. You know what it reminds me of, and I hate to say this. I really hate to say it. It reminds me of that Christmas Day game back in 2018 where LeBron and Rondo both got hurt. And Bron went down, and Rondo broke his hand. We beat the Warriors on Christmas Day in Oracle. I think we were the 4th seed and like a game and a half out of the 1st seed in the West when they went down, playing great basketball. And then we missed the playoffs that year because of injury. So that they got a great win, a staple win of the year that year, and a major injuries happened in that same game that literally derailed the season. So I'm hoping that obviously this Braun and AD injury hopefully won't linger. I'm hoping that Vando's injury may not be as long as it seems right now. And hopefully we can get some bodies in here via trade that's going to help us. But outside of that, like, it just really sucked that we go out and we get a great win like that last night. And then we find out today that Vando was out for potentially an extended period of time. And we don't even know to the extent of what the injury is. And that's where things get a little murky there, man. Tyrone, what's going on, man? Thanks for pulling up. I appreciate you, bro. The trades I see is Tyus Jones and buyout small forward, and Ham got to play Hayes for 20 minutes and Woods for 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so Tyus Jones, I don't think we're getting. Washington, I mean, for everything that I've heard, is that Washington is unwilling to move him unless they get a first. Now, maybe that changes. If that changes, okay, then maybe it does. But if the price tag is a first, the Lakers aren't spending their first on Tyus Jones. So that X's him out if what's out there is true. But it just depends if you trust the reports or not, right? So there's that. The second one is buyout. Yes. My number one buyout target is Gordon Hayward. I would love for them to get him. I'm hoping they get him. It's not guaranteed, of course, but I'm really, really hoping he'd be a perfect fit out there with them. And playing Hayes 20 minutes, I think, would be an overreaction to last night's game because he'd been playing Hayes a lot. He'd been starting him and not really getting anything out of him. And Wood seems to be going backwards. So even when he's given minutes, he's given opportunities. He seemed to fail more than he succeeded. So I would love for them to maybe get Tyus Jones on the low without it being a first. I would love to see them get that small forward. I would love to see Hayes play well for 20 minutes. We just haven't seen that all season. So I'm not going to let one game change the narrative on that. And like I said, Christian Wood, I don't know what's going on there, but he's been given multiple opportunities and he seems to be going backwards. But if he can figure it out, I'm for it. Definitely, I'm for it if he can figure it out. I'm okay with Max playing small forward. I like Max. Max's minutes are more impactful. Like I said, Max out there and Vando out there are the two guys we need. All the metrics point to them, especially at this point in the season. A lot of those metrics earlier with Wood were early in the season, but because they were so heavy in rotation back then, but he's slipped up since then. We got Richard Pizarro. Thanks for pulling up, bro. I appreciate you, man. Lakers need Reeves to focus on scoring. I agree. I think when Reeves focuses a little bit more on playmaking, I think D'Lo's okay with being a playmaker. He proved that last night. And then, if he needs to throw up a dagger shot or a clutch shot, he's capable of that too. Reeves needs to be a bucket getter. That's why I kind of liked him off the bench as the sixth man, because he can focus on that, come in and get buckets and cook like he was doing last night, even though in a starting role. But I think it would be insane to expect that type of performance out of Austin Reeves even once every week, let alone every game. Austin is capable of getting 30 points in a game. He is. He's capable, but he's got to get the usage. He's got to get the touches. He's got to get the opportunities. When he's out there with Braun and AD, that's harder to pull off, right? So all we need is, like I said, if we had a handful of guys getting between 8 to 14 points a game, or in games helping Braun and AD, and you got one guy like at the 18-20, then you're in great shape, right? So D'Lo and Reeves can trade off in that, and that's fine. But we just need that type of consistency from other guys. Like we need Rui to be as effective as he was last night, right? We need Max Christie to play effective minutes when he's out there. He doesn't have to score 20, but be a threat out there. I like his being able to get to his spots right there in that mid-range, right to that free throw line pull-up. Like I like his game there, and he's capable. He's more than capable. So like if those guys can get out there, get opportunities, and produce in those opportunities, then obviously this Laker team is better. But Braun and AD, after watching them last night, I hope they took a look at that and saw that maybe these guys earned a little bit of their trust out there. But the thing is, when Braun and AD come back, those guys got to play with that same aggression. They've got to play with that same hunger, and they've got to stay consistent to keep their trust. And that's important. That's very, very important there. Dan Vando just came back. So devastating. Yeah, no cap one. That's no cap indeed. It sucks. Like I said, we just got him back, and then this happens, and it's frustrating. Like I said, the basketball gods are not pleased with the Los Angeles Lakers, man. Yep, knew it wasn't good when it happened. Yeah, me too. Didn't look good. There's no context, man. Now Prince has to play more minutes. Well, he's going to play more minutes, but as far as the perimeter, but I also think it leads to more minutes for Rui because Vandal played a lot at the 4. So Rui being able to take those minutes, not just his bronze backup, but actually those Vandal minutes too, I think will lead to more minutes from him, which we've been hoping for. But he doesn't play the defense that Vando does, but he is more offensively skilled, right? But he's going to have to step up his defense a little bit more on the perimeter and to be able to try to help out there. And he's going to have to maybe step up his rebounding a little bit too, because Vando was a good rebounder. So Rui's going to have to continue to add to that as his minutes go up, because I think they will. Big Baby, what's going on, man? He says, hit the like button. That's a fact. Hit the like button, man, and subscribe. Appreciate you. Lakers need Reeves to focus on scoring. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Miles Bridges and Tyus Jones is my pick for the Lakers. I don't think they'll make a play for Miles Bridges for a variety of reasons, but mainly we have a female owner, so I don't see that happening. Secondly, like I said, Tyus Jones, I like Tyus Jones. I really do, but I don't think the Lakers are using their only first-round pick if that's Washington's asking price. And he's a pending free agent. Everyone's scared to death of D'Lo's player option. So Tyus Jones is an unrestricted free agent this year. He's going to want to get paid. And also, he's not a very good defensive point guard either. Let's see. Gideon, what's going on, man? Salute to you, man. Thank you for pulling up. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. Need Stanley Johnson back, said Richard. Stanley, Stanley was a good story when he was playing on a terrible team. It was kind of a good story to see him come back and get some run out there. But there's really no one in the league looking for Stanley Johnson right now. So I liked his effort when he was here, but I think that was a feel good story. But I don't know how much, how much he'd even play, right now. And that was years ago, and he's even, he's been out of the league for almost a year now. Patrick Jane, thanks for pulling up. I appreciate you, man. I don't think it is a bad idea to have LeBron as a player coach. Well, it's illegal from the league standpoint. They don't allow that anymore. Now you can do it unofficially. You can do it unofficially. Put a guy in there that's the official head coach, and LeBron just behind the scenes kind of runs the show, but he kind of does that anyway. But yeah, so it's not legal like it was back in the day, Patrick. But they could do something like under the table like that. Gideon says Lakers can win tomorrow. The question is, will they? Absolutely. That's it right there. They can win every game. The question is, will they? Like, that's the thing with them. They just beat the best team record-wise in the NBA after getting destroyed back-to-back games by Houston and Atlanta. This is that team, the team that is inconsistent. They're only consistent in one thing, and that is being inconsistent. So to see them go out and get, like I said, a complete potential season saving win last night, it wouldn't surprise me to then see them go out and lose back-to-back games by 20 again these next two. That's what this team is. So if they go out there and handle business against New York and handle business against Charlotte, if they come out of this road trip, and this is a big if, capital I, capital F, if they come out of this road trip 4-2, that will be impressive considering those two games that they got served in Houston and Atlanta. If they end up winning the final three in Boston, in New York, and in Charlotte, then that's impressive, especially with the injuries, especially what was happening. Now, I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm not putting money on that, but it would be absolutely impressive if they could pull that off, man. Tyrone says, I got 2-0. Man, I hope so, brother. I hope so. Win one, lose two. Those are the options, right? Those are the options. I think Knicks will miss Randall. They'll absolutely miss Randall, but the Lakers got to control Brunson, man. Brunson just... He kills them out there. Now, quickly, they don't have quickly over there to light him up, but it's going to be at the Garden. They're going to be playing at home. They will miss Randall, but Brunson's cooking, man. Brunson is absolutely cooking for sure, man. Knicks heard about our win and will be motivated to win this game. Absolutely, for sure. Tyrone says 4-2. Man, I'm telling you, brother, I hope so. I really, really hope so. I'm praying for that, man. Smash the likes, absolutely. Smash the likes. Appreciate you, bro. Knicks will have a letdown, hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, I hope so. Absolutely hope so tomorrow. How come it's always Vando and Cam getting hurt? Need TP to sprain an ankle? Well, not right now. We're gonna need him, but yeah, it's funny. The guy that no one wants is the guy that's forever available. And Darvin even said that's kind of why he's been playing so much, is because he is available. These other guys haven't been available as much, and that's why the season has kind of gone the way it is. Russ the Builder, what's good, my guy? Thank you for pulling up. I appreciate you, man. Cuba says, Church Roman versus Rocket. I don't know anything you're talking about, Cuba. I'm assuming you're talking about wrestling. I have no clue. Dante, what's good, my guy? Thank you for pulling up. I appreciate you, man. Roy says, Jeff, last night showed that we can't plan the offense around LeBron or AD. Let D'Lo run the offense and the youngsters spread their wings and show what they have. The ball moved last night. Well, Roy, that's what happens when a team plays free. A team is dangerous when they're playing free. They've got nothing to lose. They're out there just playing free, playing comfortable. It's hard to play free when you got your superstars on the court, man, because they create a lot of attention, a lot of pressure, and they put pressure on their teammates to perform. So it's a lot harder to play free when you're out there with those guys. So in order to do that, LeBron and AD have to play free. You know what I mean? They've got to get out there and act like they're enjoying the game again. They got to get out there and play free. And I think the other guys are capable of doing that, but then it's easy to play free when your shots are falling. And Roy, they could go out there and have the ball moving and do everything that they did last night. And when shots don't fall, then it all falls apart, right? So that's why I called it the perfect storm game last night, because they shot 53% from three. They only had 7 turnovers. Boston only shot 33% from three, right? D'Lo had like 14 assists. Like the odds of a game of any of those stats being remotely close to that all in the same game are slim to none, right? So it's about how do you react to that when the shots don't fall. Well, I was more impressed with their defense in that game yesterday. So it's like when the shots don't fall, you can counter that if you're playing defense. But if you're running offense, that's the most thing I like last night when you talk about the ball moving around. They were running offense last night from a perspective of the ball was sharing. People were making the right cuts. People were diving to the corner when their defender was shading. Like there was a lot of things that they did. They did a lot of good basketball, just instinctive plays last night, which the Lakers have not done most of the season. The Lakers have typically done just like hero ball, dribble, shot clock down to 8, then they start looking for a shot. obviously that's playing with fire. So when they went out there last night and just moved the ball around, they were looking for offense early. And then if the offense lagged a little bit, they were getting the shot, but it was still like 12, 13 seconds left in the shot clock. And they had time to recreate something else if that didn't work. And that's what I love seeing. There was creativity out there last night. The ball had energy. It was flying around out there. Guys were engaged because they knew they were going to touch the ball. They knew, and then see what happens is like when you take care of the guys on offense, they don't got to get the shot. But if everyone touches the ball and they feel involved, then they play that much harder on the defensive end because they feel like they're part of something, right? And so when you got your superstars out there, and it's not that Braun or AD are ball hogs, because they're absolutely not. What it is these guys end up watching them instead of doing those cuts and going backdoor and basically trying to shake their defender, using misdirection and doing all these different things that they were doing last night. They end up just watching the stars. So they need to stop watching their stars and at least play with the energy that they did last night, because that alone should improve a lot of the bad habits that the Lakers have been having right now. Let's see. Dan Inspiration, what's going on, man? Hawks beat the Suns, made me feel better. Yeah, they did. I think Dejounte Murray went like 1 of 8 from 3 tonight too. He didn't shoot very well tonight, but they did get the win. They did get the win. I think he still had like 27 points. Hold on a second. It was cold as hell last night. I was outside. I was like, man, it's cold. Had to make me a warm drink here, man. Came in the house. I was like, woo, freezing out there, man. That beat reminds me of DJ Premier. Yeah, it's a boom bap sample track, scratch track. I couldn't have samples on it because of copyright. So, but the scratch and all that, yeah, definitely fire, man. Fire. Yeah, Jeff, sing us a song in the intro. I ain't gonna sing a song. I ain't gonna do that. But appreciate you, man. Vanna was literally our best perimeter defender. Yeah, he for sure is. He's incredible, man. Like I said, I've been a Vandal fan since before he joined the Lakers. I love the way he plays. I didn't think we were going to be able to get him last year. You know what I mean? He was linked to so many other teams that were willing to give up first round picks for him. So it literally was like it was him being included that the reason that the first was given up in the first place. You know what I mean? So he's such an incredible person to add to your team. And like I said, I feel like I was telling people all summer. I was telling people the beginning of the season, and like people came around when they finally started to see it. But like his ability has been like I said, that his term for me is just disruptor. When he's out there just disrupting the flow of the other team's game, he just changes things. And then I kept telling people is that I've seen him be able to do some things offensively. He's not a scorer, obviously, but when he's healthy, he's able to put points on the board. He's capable of getting 10 to 12 points. He can hit a 3 or 2. He can get putbacks, he can get rim runs, he can score in transition. Like he's capable of getting you 10 to 12 points a game. So people out there just calling him a liability and talking about that he can't be played in the playoffs, that's crazy. He was hurt towards the end of last season. So he was hurt in the beginning of this season. When he was playing and starting to get healthy, getting his legs back from under him, getting his timing down and all that, look what he was starting to do. That's the Vando I've been telling you guys about. And then he got hurt again. And now we're back to ground zero trying to figure out what we're going to do with him, man. IK says, Knicks fan here. You got great content and commentary. Keep it going. Hey, thank you, man, so much. So appreciate you showing up, man. I rock with the Knicks, man. I watched a lot of the Knicks games. I'm an avid League Pass watcher. I watch a lot of games. I got multiple games on daily, and I watch replays later and full and condensed. So I'm a basketball junkie, man. So I enjoy watching the Knicks. And if they weren't playing the Lakers, I'd be rooting for them. So I appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and tune in, man. We love to have you over here from time to time. We appreciate you. Controversial man, what's going on? He says, at this point, Braun should not be the focal point. This isn't 2013, not even 2020. He needs to pick and choose his spots. And I think he's been trying to. Controversial. I think the problem is a lot of these role players haven't been stepping up most of the season. So when your star player notices that the role players don't particularly seem to be up to the task, then it's second nature for them to just take over. Like, we tried this. Now I'm just gonna do it myself. That's not too abnormal for a star to do. When your teammates aren't playing to their capabilities or aren't seizing the moment. So that's not abnormal to do, though. Don Terry, yo, what's going on, my brother, man? Thank you for pulling up. Appreciate you. If you're out there on the road, you drive safe, man. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Hope the Lakers get this win tomorrow, man. We need it. Said Vooch would be nice next to AD as far as D goes, bro. He can guard the pick and roll. He's 7 foot. My only concern with Shai is Braun might want DeMar because of the Lakers star chasing. Yeah, and again, I don't think the Lakers are going to get a big that makes north of like $15 million, and then Vooch is around 20 something million. I think that's a little pricey for a secondary big when you got AD and you got a lot of perimeter defensive issues. So I think they're gonna. I think they are. I don't think they would prioritize that. And one, because of the cost, and two, because like I said, I feel like they're prioritizing the perimeter instead. Curious, what's going on, my guy? He said, "What is good, Jeff? What do you think of the Lakers will get in the who do you think the Lakers will get in the deadline?" Uh, with this Vando injury, that Brooklyn package looks a little bit more ideal with a Dorian Finney-Smith. He's Vando-ish, but a better shooter. And I like him. I think adding him to a team that has championship aspirations, which right now I'm not quite putting the Lakers in that category, obviously. Um, but he's someone you can build. No, you can have and add to the future. $15 million a year player. That's right within the wheelhouse of what you're looking for. He can defend. He can shoot. So that's a 3-and-D guy. And when you pair him with someone like Vando, that makes your defense even much better. And he can shoot. So wouldn't mind that. I'm still convinced that Murray's too expensive for the Lakers. Like I don't know how they're going to pull it off without offering up Reeves. And I don't know if the Lakers are going to offer up Reeves. They might in the end. They might just say, you know what, we got to do it. But I'm not willing to go there and say that they're going to. I'm not convinced that if they don't offer him that they have a chance at Murray, though. I've been telling you guys for weeks, I felt like Murray was too expensive for the Lakers. I still think that a team is going to come in late there and offer more. And then the Lakers can offer because we know Woj came out and said that today. And this is what I've been saying for weeks. Is that I believe his terms were, this is a deadline-driven league. The closer it gets to the deadline, the better offers those teams get. The teams don't make their better offers now. They don't do that because those offers leak and it damages your offer to other teams if you have to pivot. Just the way this works. So what happens is these teams don't make their best offers. They call and they basically tell them, here's the offer. You have 15 minutes. And they don't give them a lot of time to go tell the rest of the league or reporters what was offered, because if they turn it down, then they take that offer somewhere else. And they don't want to let these teams have too much time to sit on it, because then they'll let their peoples know what the offer was, and it damages their negotiations on another level. So that's why they say that this is a deadline-driven league. And I know everyone's saying, why hasn't a trade happened yet? They're taking too long. We need a trade now. Well, people need to realize and be realistic and act like they've been through this before. And they realize that that's just not how this business works when it comes to these bigger trades. It doesn't work that way. You'll get some, but let's say like a Pascal Siakam move, right? The Lakers didn't have the pieces to get him. They didn't have it, right? They didn't have the all those picks that went to Toronto for them. They didn't have it, right? So that's why that deal happened, is because they got a deal that no one was going to top at the deadline. That's why they made that move. They made the move with New York for OG because no one was going to top that deal of RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and Detroit second round pick, which is basically the first pick of the second round. No one was going to top that offer. So that's why that deal happened. The Lakers don't have an offer to anyone that another team can't match or beat. So that's why the Lakers have to wait it out. They have to wait for other teams to strike out. And that's why this is happening. And I feel like people aren't grasping that. And it's important to understand. It's not like the Lakers can wake up tomorrow and say, okay, we're doing these trades now. It's not how it works. It's not how it works. The Lakers have to wait for someone to say, okay, we'll take your offer. We're not in control here. We don't hold the cards. They do. Atlanta holds all the cards here, which is why I continue to say that if they don't get a deal that they want from another team by the deadline, they may just wait till the summer on him, because they'll be like, the Lakers really want him, especially if they miss the playoffs, then they're going to be even more desperate. And they're going to have 3 first-round picks to play with. We may be able to get the guys we want and another pick. So when you think about that and you think about it logically, as I keep telling you guys, Atlanta will have to blink. Like they literally would have to borderline panic a little bit and actually be a little stupid, which could happen. Yeah, I don't know how great Landry Fields is over there. It could happen, but their ownership will have to sign off on that. So it's not just Landry Fields. So the Lakers have to hope that a team that has a very good player over there, no other team is going to offer more than what the Lakers can offer, which is going to be tough, and B, that they accept the Lakers offer. So we got to be realistic about this. Is it impossible? No. Is it realistic? No, I don't think so. But is it possible? Yes. Possible? Yes. Impossible? No. Realistic? You know what I mean? So what happens is people see these reports, man, and they eat it up. They eat it up. But you got to understand, people are selling you something. They're selling you something. They're selling your clicks. They're selling your views. Even looking at someone, even if you don't click the link, the impression and the engagement still matters. So as long as you read it, glance at it, it still counts. Someone retweets it, you look at it. Someone comments on it, you see it. It's all engagements. So before they would sell papers, now they sell clicks. They sell engagements. So that like that thing yesterday with dude from KTLA 5 putting out the LeBron gonna be traded thing. But that was wild. That was wild. The point where Rich Paul had to come out and say that LeBron isn't being traded, nor do we want to be traded. I don't know when the last time that's happened. Like when an agent comes out and does that. That's wild. That's wild. But it happened because some dude who came from KTLA 5, who no one even knows who he is, and then they were digging through his old tweets and saw the Kawhi timeline, which was hilarious. That's a whole different subject for another day because I think people forgot how that process played out. But people freak out if someone unfollows someone on social media. Like, bro, like, man, if I had the power to post any emoji I wanted on social media and watch everyone just freak out over it, I'd probably have some fun with that too. Because it's so funny, man. People post an emoji and people just lose their minds. I'm telling y'all got to back off these tea leaves, bro. Y'all got to back off these tea leaves. One, you guys aren't consistent with it. Two, you guys are just completely overreacting. I remember when D'Lo got sick, everyone swore, what? A trade is coming. What are you doing? What are they doing? I'm like, nothing. They're doing nothing. The dude's sick. It's January. It happens, right? Now, coincidentally, when anytime someone sits out because they're sick, like, oh, they're holding him out for a trade. Like, bro, he's hurt or he's sick. Bron's out. Are they holding him out for a trade? Are they holding AD out for a trade? Like, be consistent. That's all I'm telling y'all to be. It's wild. Like, it's crazy. But it's like, I understand you guys are thirsty for a transaction. You guys want a trade. But there's just no point in making a trade just to make a trade, especially if it's a bad trade. Especially if it affects our future. Especially if it's not one that's going to deliver us a championship this year. And I don't see any trade that can happen this year that puts us in like a top 4 chance of winning a championship. I don't see it. I don't see it. Because the pieces that we got this year were so important, and had those all worked, then I believed it early. But like, we've already got to hope that Bron and AD stay healthy. We got to deal with Darvin Ham. We got to hope that D'Lo stays consistent if he stays. We got to hope that Austin can play some defense out there in clutch situations. We got to hope that someone can help AD as far as another big. Like, there's a lot of things that have to go right, and only a couple more things have to go wrong. And it's really, really hard to, when you look at that math and expect that this team is going to do right all of a sudden when they've done nothing but do wrong all season, like 80% of the season. So I think we need to be a little bit more realistic and be a little bit more wise that we just wanting a transaction for the sake of having a transaction could be dangerous. Just making a trade. What do we, if we give up a first like we did last year, didn't win a chip, Malik walked, D'Lo, they're already trade rumors all season. Vando we extended, but he's hurt. Bamba walked. We kept Rui. We extended him. But like I said, that's a top 4 protected 2027 first round pick to Utah. And we didn't get a chip for it. And really the only thing we got left to show for it is Vando, who is often injured. I love Vando. You guys heard me talk about him at length. But he's often injured. And you got D'Lo, who you might be shipping out of here. So that's one first round pick gone that we didn't win a chip when we moved it. And now we're potentially going to move another one. And it might not even be a needle mover. And that's my point. Tyrone says, okay, how you feel about Miles Bridges and Wright and a big man on buyouts? Miles Bridges, I like Miles Bridges' game, especially in the open court when the Lakers play with pace. But again, I just don't think that Genie would trade for him. And then plus you can't keep his bird rights. So if you trade for him and let's say the worst case scenario is they trade for him, he plays well, then we have a Malik Monk situation on our hand and he just leaves us for more money. So again, we're giving up something to get someone that's going to dip out on us anyways. So that's a dangerous move right there. On top of the fact that I don't think Genie would trade for him. Of course, my guy Vando hurt now, but in good news, my Court Kings Vando shirt came today. Cue the siren. I got you, Dante, man. That sucks, man. I'm telling you, the basketball guys, they hate us, man. I heard they want 2 seconds for Tyus Jones. I heard today that teams offered 2 seconds and they turned them all down. Those are the reports I saw today. That just comes out to how much we believe those reports, right? But I heard that Washington wants to hold out for a first-round pick, and they turned down the reports I saw today where they were turning down all the offers for second-round picks. But again, they're going to wait till the deadline. If that's the highest offer come the trade deadline and they have no intention to re-sign him, then maybe they do that move. But as far as right now, if Washington wants a first, I don't see the Lakers cashing in their first-round pick on Tyus Jones. I don't. But maybe if it gets closer, they don't have a ton of offers, people are focused elsewhere, the clock is running out, then maybe they're willing to do that. But I think the Lakers, if they had a choice to get Jones or Bruce Brown with 2 seconds, I think they would pivot towards Bruce Brown instead. Follow Jeff on Playback. There you go. www.playback.tv/EmpireJeffTV. Absolutely. Head over there right now. Create your Playback account and become a member there to Empire Jeff TV and watch the New York Knicks Los Angeles Laker game with me tomorrow, man. Seems like we are really trying to get Murray. They're trying. They've been trying to get Murray. Atlanta just has shown no interest to take the deal that they have. And like I said, I've been telling you guys this for a while. Woj and Shams basically have confirmed that in recent days. Not confirmed what I'm saying, but confirming the same story, right? They're confirming the same logic. It's just Atlanta does not have to move him. Like I said, he's not demanding a trade. He never has demanded a trade. He probably would welcome one at this point, but he hasn't demanded it. And so if they feel they can get more in the summer and they take it to their owner, he's going to go. Here's what happens. When a GM, let's say they call the Lakers and they work out a framework, okay, this is their best offer. Let me take it to my owner. The first thing the owner is going to say, is this the best you can do? And he's going to be like, right now, well, when do you think you could do better? And he's going to be like, the summer. And the owner is going to be like, what do you think we can get in the summer? Probably 2 first-round picks. All right, let's wait for the summer. You see what I'm saying? Like that's how these things go. It would have to be Landry Fields would have to go in there, essentially believe that this is the best offer he's going to get now and in the summer, and then sell his owner on that. Now, do you think that's going to happen? That's what I'm asking you guys. Do you think that's going to happen? Just attack the rack, get Brunson and Hartenstein in foul trouble, and you good. Easier said than done, man. They got to attack the rack, especially after they just went and hit all them threes on last night, man. That's kind of scary. They're probably going to jack it up again tomorrow night. Rui is definitely an X factor for this team. He is when he's out there playing active. And like I said, I think he's shooting like 60% from 3 over his last 6 games. That's ridiculous. They got to find that man. Gotta find that dude, man. That's why Tyus, D'Lo, Rui, LBJ, AD, Starter, Reeves, Max, Prince, Wood, Hayes. Like I said, I like Tyus Jones. A lot of these guys, though, like I said, we're gonna have to catch them on a bargain. I don't know how many bargains we're gonna get this trade season. How much help do the Lakers need? Jason says, they need a lot of perimeter defensive help. Absolutely. They need a lot of things. The team that we saw last night has not been the team that we've seen most of the year. They need a consistent shooter. Even though Braun has been shooting 40% this year, which is crazy for him. D'Lo's been on a heater of late. Rui's been on a heater of late. Austin just came off a heater, right? But they still need perimeter defenders, a point of attack defender, probably another wing defender, a big to help AD, but not a starting center, not a guy like Capella making $22 million a year. That's not going to help because then that's your top priority. You get him and you're not adding anyone else. So if they get him and Murray, while mathematically it could happen, but then that means you have to move about $36 million out of there. So that's like moving D'Lo, Rui, and a pick for Murray and Capella. I like the Murray part of that, but Capella with giving up another person like Rui or one of those guys, that's a tough one, man. I'm a Knicks fan, and our strengths are getting into the passing lanes. Yeah, for sure. Rui and Max. Rui and Max more minutes. It's been proven when they're given the minutes, the team plays better. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. Any scoring guards that are available for trades? Scoring guards. Well, Murray could be considered a scoring guard. Bruce Brown isn't known as a scoring guard. He's not a bucket getter, but he can score. DeMar DeRozan is, a 2-3. That's a scoring guard, but that's expensive. That's 28 mil. Colin Sexton, Karis LeVert, guys like that may potentially become available. And there's guys that we haven't even mentioned that may become available. Some guys just may pop up out of nowhere, and keep your eye out for those too. Do you think we should Yan isn't Wenyan Gabriel? No, he's too undersized. He wouldn't be playable very much in the playoffs if he's to get there, man. If we're lucky enough to get there with the way the team has played most of the year, man. G-Dog, what's going on, man? Thanks for pulling up. Appreciate you. Man, these hiccups, bro. Kier says the Bruce Brown trade talks have gone done. I don't know what you mean by that. As we saw last game, they play with nothing to lose attitude. This is why Max Christie needs to start. He gives me that nothing to lose attitude vibe. Yeah, he's poised. He's poised out there for sure. There's times where he lacks discipline on defense, but that's not him being that's just him needing some more game time experience. But he does play with poise for sure. I like Max. I really do. I would have loved him getting all those minutes that Cam Reddish was getting. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. If LeBron returns and the energy continues to plummet, then what? Then it just is what it is at that point. They're not going to trade LeBron. And at that point, they may not empty the clip at the trade market. Like, let's say LeBron and AD come back tomorrow. Let's say for the sake of saying that they lose the next two games, which I'm not saying they're going to. Obviously, I don't want them to. But let's say for the sake of argument that they lose their next two games. At that point, if you're the Lakers, are you spending to help update this roster to try to save the season? Like, what are you trying to save at that point, right? So my thing is, like, if you can make a move for Murray and get him now, that benefits us this year and beyond. So, sorry, my puppy's turned up over here, man. That benefits us, terroristic puppy over here, man. That benefits us this year and, moving forward. So I would be for that deal. But making a move for someone like a Tyus Jones or someone who's an expiring contract and giving up assets for that, and things go crazy, and then the season doesn't work out the way we want, and then those guys leave, and we gave up assets for them. Like, that's what I don't want to see happen again. That's what I don't want to see. The consistent, inconsistent Volume 1 Greatest Hits album release party tomorrow in New York City. Yeah, that's facts, man. That's facts, bro. Vanna would have been perfect against Brunson. He would have been great, man. What's up, Lamont? FYF Sports Debates in the building, bro. It's the other way around. I don't think the young players trust Braun and AD. They go on these selfish tangents when some of these role guys miss a few jumpers. They showed last night when they said, no, I agree with you. I kind of said that too, that it's kind of a two-way street. I think that the role players, and I've also said earlier that it's not just Darvin Ham that some of these players have had a few issues with. I've said that too. But I agree with you. I agree with you there. But I do also believe that the star players lose, and you know this, Lamont, you've seen it too. Star players lose confidence in role players when the role players don't seem ready for the moment, or they're turning the ball over and they're just not capable of making shots. Then the star players lose trust in them. But I absolutely agree with you as far as Braun and AD, that they go on the selfish tangents, and I 100% agree with you on that. But I also do believe, and over forever in this league, star players have grown frustrated and lost trust in their role players far too often as well. But I agree with you. I agree with you, Tech, though. Brandon says Dejounte Murray delete all of his all of his posts on IG. Yeah, man, dudes are weird, man. People are just trolling people at this time of the year, man. They see how much people overreact to these type of things, and they just, they have fun with it. Plus, like, maybe he's had multiple spats online on social media with fans and people, and it could just be his people or his agents be like, get off that stuff, man. Stop. Like, that doesn't help. That doesn't do any good. So there could be a combination of things as to why that's happening. I heard we're looking at Marcus Smart. Why would the Grizz trade him? I don't think the Grizz do trade him. I would love for them to get him, but I think that the Grizzlies traded for him to help be that vet with Ja. I don't believe they have any interest in moving him. The Lakers will try, and the reports are they already have. But it looks like that their salary dump this year was moving Steven Adams. So I'd be surprised if they made Marcus Smart available. I would hope they would because I would love to have him. But right now, I don't believe they're going to. But we'll see as it gets closer to the deadline. But I don't believe they will. How you feel about Tony Snell? The situation about he needs like a couple more games to get the that pension to get medical for life, right? So you're talking about adding him as an actual player or like helping him out? Which situation are you talking about? Tina, what's going on? The ball can move faster than the players. Pass the ball, either pass it or shoot it. No, that's facts. The ball definitely moves faster than players. But hands in passing lanes can deflect balls that are being moved around the perimeter, though, for sure. Lakers need Tony Snell to start. Tony Snell to start. Let's see. This is facts. Let me see here. Here he goes. Darvin Ham again, man. I'm a good coach. I'm a good coach. He said, Jeff a goat. Hey, appreciate you, Brandon, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, bro. I heard League Pass is a big crap. You saying is it true? I love League Pass, man. I love League Pass. I'm watching replays right now, man. I've got it on my screen right here. I got basketball on my screens 24/7, man. 24/7. This place looks like Vegas, man. Like every TV I have a different game on. So it's crazy. No, I love League Pass, but you got to be committed to it. People have it and like check in on it, but don't really watch it like that. You know what I mean? Some people have it because they watch like their favorite team if they don't live in their city, so they have it for that. Some people have it, just to watch every once in a while casually, and there's people that watch it like obsessively. You know what I mean? So, but League Pass is great. I love it. I've had League Pass as far back as I can remember, and I've always loved it. The youngsters defer to too much to LBJ and AD, just like they did with Kobe. They stand around and watch greatness. They should trust their abilities. And that's what I've said too, that sometimes they get out there and they just watch them instead of actually staying aggressive. And the best way you support your star player as a role player is to be aggressive. And role players need to do a better job at doing that. And if they bring that same effort and same hunger into that game tomorrow night, if Bron and AD are playing, the Lakers will be better off for it. What's going on, Micah? Thanks for pulling up, man. Vando out hurts a lot. Salute Jeff and chat. Salute, man. Yeah, it does. It hurts a lot. Nicholas Clark says, I'll pass on Vuk. Sounding like his defense is slipping even more so, which he didn't have much in the first place. Yeah, I agree on that. And the money. Lakers not trading with Nets because of trade with bad faith. I don't think 100% that was bad faith. I think it was they wanted players the Lakers didn't want to offer up. I mean, you saw what that final asking price was from the Nets. You know, they wanted Austin Reeves, Max Christie. They wanted some stuff the Lakers weren't comfortable with giving up with Kyrie going into a contract year. I think the Lakers could have gotten Kyrie if they gave them what they wanted, but the Lakers felt what they wanted was unreasonable. And I think that they would make a move with the Nets. I absolutely think they would. Pelinka and Sean Marks seem to be on good standing. It was their owner, Joe Tsai, that had a problem with Kyrie going to LA. But Sean Marks and Pelinka seem to be cool. Says, what do you think is a solid eight-man rotation after the deadline for LA? There's a lot of guys that could fit the rotation, but it doesn't mean they're available or attainable. Obviously, like I said, a Dejounte Murray, a Bruce Brown, Gordon Hayward on a buyout market. People have mentioned Gafford, Nick Richards out of Charlotte. There's a lot of guys that people have linked and mentioned that would be good rotation players, but it's just a matter of can the Lakers get these guys? You know, I mean, like I said, Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, Royce O'Neal, like guys that can contribute. Everyone wants the Lakers saver Lonnie Walker back, right? Like, so like there's a lot of guys who can contribute to a rotation, but I don't know who they're gonna get. But any of those guys I mentioned would be a good solid addition and a rotation for us. But it's just a matter of who's available, who can we actually compete in getting, who can we compete in a deal wise to get. And can these dudes stay healthy when we get them? That seems to always be a problem here, man. I think the Lakers offer Reeves, but no first-round pick. I still think Atlanta says no to that, though. I think they want Reeves and a first. Again, it's Dejounte Murray, man. They gave up 3 first-round picks and a first-round pick swap for him. Reeves by himself is not enough for Dejounte Murray. He's not as good as Dejounte Murray. So I don't know why they would take just Austin Reeves to move Murray. They're going to want a pick still. Dontario says, thanks, bro. I'm currently inbound to Columbia, South Carolina. We got to build off the win, get healthier, and make some solid moves. Let's go, Lakers. Yeah, all that, man. Facts. Drive safe, brother. Do you think we are a lot better with a Murray Reeves swap only? So here's the thing. I'm not campaigning for the Lakers to move Reeves. That's not what I'm doing. I love Austin Reeves. But Austin Reeves is not as good as Dejounte Murray. He's not. If you could get, and I don't think you can, if you could get Dejounte Murray right now, heads up for Austin Reeves, you would have to have your head examined to not make that deal, right? You would have to. But I don't think Atlanta would even entertain that offer, to be honest with you. But as far as we are a lot better with Murray Reeves swap only. The team would be better defensively, and Murray can score. So I would say the team would be better. But again, that's just if it's that swap alone. But again, I don't think that trade is realistic, though. Tyrone says Kevin Reeves and Hood. Reeves and Hood for Murray. I think that's the trade. I think they would want Reeves the first and JHS. So for that to happen, because they would prefer Reeves. Basically, they want the same framework, but with Reeves instead of D'Lo. That's what they want. Hey, DJ, what's going on, my guy? DJ 60 Cent here in the building, man. Thanks for pulling that, brother. I hope you had a good night, man. If you're working tonight, drive safe, DJ, man. Pull up over to Lakers in 5. Subscribe to his channel, man. Great content. Great dude over there, man. Pausing his workout to come salute y'all, man, over here. Appreciate you, bro. Hope you're doing well, man. Nicholas Clark says, I think the Nets is the best team to facilitate a Murray trade. Would it hold my breath, though? Yeah. At the end of the day, a facilitation, what are they getting? So, like, what does Atlanta want, right? So we know this. See, I think you have to really look at what Atlanta wants. They want Austin Reeves. Now, say if the Lakers don't offer Austin Reeves, and what the Lakers are willing to move is D'Lo, Hood Schifino, and a first round pick, and potentially a pick swap. Let's say that's the framework, right? That's what's been out there reportedly. So let's say that's the framework, right? Atlanta seems to be cool with JHS the first and the pick swap, but they want something else instead of D'Lo that they actually value moving forward, or someone that they know 100% will opt out, right? So if they go get Spencer Dinwiddie and he leaves in the summer, like they have no chance of keeping him, or they buy him out, is that enough that they just get a first round pick, JHS, and a pick swap? I don't think it is. I think they would want someone else, another player, to go in there that they could keep for the future, which is why they want Austin Reeves, because they want a player that they would like to keep with the first, with JHS, and with the pick swap. But they would prefer that D'Lo be flipped for an asset that they would want to keep for the future. And that's what I think you'd have to find, because I don't know who'd be coming from Brooklyn that fits that mold. The issue with D'Lo is he stopped shooting. He don't have the confidence to slash. He needs to keep shooting the ball, in my opinion. He was getting to the rim last night. He just kept missing a lot of layups last night because he would get there and just couldn't finish. It was frustrating. But his assist, and then, like I said, he hit that dagger 3. When his shot wasn't working, he still contributed to the game. So shout out to him for that. What's a realistic D'Lo trade and a backup center move that to upgrade this team? Also a Gabe Vincent move. So the Gabe Vincent move that I've been saying for a couple of weeks now is, I think the Gabe Vincent move is Gabe, Prince, and one of the minimum guys to get you enough salary to go get someone in the 18-something million range, right? So that a move like that is very possible. That could be the framework for a Bruce Brown deal. That could be the framework for a Dorian Finney-Smith deal. But as far as like a major move with Gabe being included in it, as far as that's going to be a little bit more tough to pull off. But as far as what's a realistic D'Lo trade, I don't know what trade out there you move D'Lo that gets you better, like, unless it's Murray, right? But I don't think until I see that deal, I'm not believing it, right? Like I said, it's not impossible, but I don't think it's realistic right now. But it's not impossible. It could happen. It very well could happen. But a lot of things have to happen for it to happen. And that's what I've been speaking on. So as far as moving D'Lo, I don't know just moving D'Lo in a move, unless it's someone like Murray, because there's not a lot of game changers out there on this market. It's kind of you know what I mean? So there's not a lot of game changers on this market. So Dejounte Murray might be Dejounte Murray, a DeMar DeRozan, guys like that, guys like Karl Anthony Towns never became available this year. There's guys, I know we've been hearing Jimmy Butler's name kind of rumor, but that's just kind of weird to me. I don't know how, least I don't believe the Heat would have any interest in moving him right now. But outside of that, like there's not really a needle mover out there right now. Dejounte Murray might be the best available name, and teams as of right now aren't even knocking down the door to get him. So yet, so it's hard to tell because the market is really weird, really, really weird. I really thought we were going to see a bunch of movement, and we still might because of the summer coming up. So there could be a wave of moves. Like no one saw that Steven Adams move coming. Like I said, that Memphis had to dump salary, right? But I thought it might have been Luke Kennard, right? The fact that they moved Steven Adams when they know that Jaren Jackson Jr. has not been the same player since Steven Adams went down. The fact that they moved him as a salary dump instead of Kennard, that was a little interesting to me. But we knew they had to move some money, and they did. So they've got Oladipo, who will be an expiring contract coming off the books, and they got Adams out of there. So that might have been their major move, right? That might have been their move. So if there was a chance where maybe they were thinking to maybe move Marcus Smart, which I never thought was really realistic or possible, now I think that's even less likely because they just made their salary dump. D'Lo's a great facilitator on offense, but his pace doesn't maximize other players' skill set. Vando, Cam, Max, and Hayes. Yeah, he does. He can't really get out there and create. He can create shots for jump shooters, but as far as penetrating, like a lot of assists around the rim, he has the skill set to do it. He just doesn't do it enough. Kenrick Williams from OKC. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, but I don't know if he's going to be available. I think they're looking to add, not trim. We need 3-and-D Vanderbilt light. Who's that? Probably Dorian Finney-Smith. Wish me luck. I have an interview tomorrow with Lake Elsinore basketball team for a media department. Hey, good luck, man. Good luck to you tomorrow. Hope you get that, big baby. Congrats, man. Congrats in advance. Go get that, man. I said that's a fact. I've said a lot of stuff. Don't really know which one you're talking about, but but I appreciate you, man. I'm going 0 dark 30 on trade rumors. Yeah, I mean they're fun to talk about, but I think the fact that people crave a trade so bad just to have a trade, I think could be dangerous. I'm just happy the Lakers don't think like that and they don't react to it. Because doing a trade just to make a trade, like I said, you got to be careful with that. That could really bite you in the end. Really, really bite you in the end. Kier says Lakers will be the champs this year. Man, I wish. I would love nothing more than that. But they got to show us a lot more before we can get to that. Will Clarkson be an upgrade over D'Lo? Upgrade? They're different. He's much more aggressive than D'Lo, but he can also shoot you out of a game, and he's inconsistent too. He's a chucker, man. He can get there. He's capable of scoring 30, or he can give you 0. I like JC. I do. He's aggressive. He's tough. Hard nosed. Not the best defender. He can push pace. He's played with Braun before. He's been in the NBA Finals before. But he's different than D'Lo. I don't know if I'd call him an upgrade over D'Lo. Brandon says all teams fear the Lakers. No one wants to play the Lakers in the playoffs. The good teams I get with you, but I'd be scared if I was the Lakers playing a play-in team. They seem to play down the teams like that. It feels like Royce O'Neal is a gettable pickup without trading a first-round pick. There's been reports saying the Nets turned down 2 first-round picks. That's ridiculous. Well, that was for Dorian Finney-Smith and him because, like I said, what their asking price is right now is ridiculous because they haven't received the best offer from teams. So we don't truly know what their true asking price is until it gets closer to the deadline. So everyone who's impatient about a deal not happening yet has to realize the teams will not make their best offer yet. They will not. As I explained earlier, they don't do it because they don't want that to leak around the league. And everyone knows what position they're negotiating for. They'll make an offer. They give you 10 to 15 minutes, if that, to make a decision because they don't want you telling the people you're close to around the league what we're really offering up because then that lowers our ability to negotiate with other teams. So they wait to the final, stretch there. If they make their offer and then they move on quick. So you have a president of basketball operations, a GM, an assistant GM, right? So the one guy will call a team, make the offer, and immediately if that gets shot down, the other guy's on the phone before the other person has a chance to call that person, right? And that's how this all goes down. And that's why they will not put their best offer out there right now because they don't want their ability to negotiate with other teams to be damaged by that because what they offered that team leaked out 2 weeks early. So the Lakers are different, right? Because their situation is pretty much everyone knows what their offer will consist of. They know the only players they can really move or that they'd consider moving. They know what picks they have available. So what the Lakers have to offer really isn't a surprise other than if at the last moment they made Austin Reeves available. Which I've often said is that I'm not 100% convinced that he's untouchable. They could at the last minute be like, okay, we'll give it to you. Let's go. And they'll be like, let's do it. Right. But they don't want to make that offer now because if they tell him no, then it leaks that he became available, and then you don't trade him. But Austin knows that he was offered in a trade, and that can be problematic. The kid, what's going on, man? Did Murray delete his Insta? I heard he did. I don't follow him on there, so I don't know for sure. But I heard enough people say it, so I'm assuming it's true for DFS. Yeah. Rui a bucket, 30 minutes a game. Yeah, he could score, but the problem is again, like his defense at times can be problematic, man. If you could go back in time, who would you rather keep, Malik Monk or Austin Reeves? I mean, I think I think Malik Monk is a better basketball player than Austin Reeves, but I think Austin Reeves is just such a good role player that if you're playing for if you're trying to build the championship team, you need role players like him. Malik Monk is really, really good, but he's kind of he's not necessarily a playmaker like Austin. The way Austin gets to the line, they're different. I think that Malik Monk is more of a bucket, more consistently a bucket. But they're just different styles. So Malik Monk, I think, is a better basketball player, but I like Austin Reeves on a team when you've got stars because he knows how to play off multiple stars very well. Phantom Dancer, what's going on? He says, I think people confuse talent with fits. There you go. That's what I was just talking about. Talent hasn't been a problem for us. It's how our roster has been constructed. I truly believe we can still compete with the right pieces. And that's what I'm saying. Like, talent, we have talent. The talent just isn't working together. The roster, just the pieces aren't fitting and aren't working. So what I've always said is I don't know if there's a trade out there that all of a sudden just makes this team a contender again, because we got to wait to see if those pieces fit. Sometimes people come in and all of a sudden the chemistry is so great that things take off. That could happen. But again, when it comes to this team, because of lackluster effort and all the stuff that they've been going through, I need to be able to I need to see more. I need to give it in stretches. Like I said, we need a 5-6 God, I mean, a 7-game winning streak, right? We haven't even got to 4. I don't even know if did we get to 3? Like we can't string together wins. That's where we're a 500 team. Big Baby says, Jake Fisher, Atlanta is confident in finding the third team for D'Lo and LA Murray trade talks, or looking for expiring and Gabe Vincent trade talk. Well, we'll see. The reports are conflicting. They are. And like I said, I don't think it's impossible for the Lakers to get Murray. I'm going to continue to say that. I don't think it's impossible. I think that people that are thinking that the Lakers are holding up this trade just by not pulling the trigger is what I'm referring to. I think those people are tripping. You know what I mean? The Lakers are waiting on Atlanta to make a decision. So Atlanta's going to wait to see if another bigger offer comes in towards the end, which they should do, and then decide that if no other offer comes in, do they want to take this Laker deal? And that's how I feel it's going to go down. But as far as Atlanta confident in finding a third team for D'Lo in LA Murray trade talks, are looking for expirings in Gabe Vincent trade talks. I don't know. That's kind of Gabe with the D'Lo trade. I don't know how that makes sense. I'm not sure what you're lining up there. Don't get me wrong. I like Clarkson, but he's more of a chucker. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's definitely more of a chucker. 3-team trade: Lakers, Nets, Hawks. Possible, but like I said, who's going to Atlanta? So again, it comes back to my thing. If Atlanta is insisting on Austin Reeves being the deal, that means they want a player to keep other than just JHS and a pick for Murray, right? Who's that player from Brooklyn that they want to keep on this timeline? That's what I'm challenging people to think of here. Patrick says, I think Ham should put Reddish once he gets back at power forward to replace Vando. I think he could play with 3 other perimeter players. Well, he doesn't rebound the ball well enough. He can't dribble, which I guess in the 4 wouldn't be too bad. But he doesn't rebound well enough. He can make threes from time to time, but really can't do anything else. I'm over the Cam experiment. I'd much rather have Max Christie get his minutes at this point. Juan Valverde, what's going on, man? Thanks for pulling up. Appreciate you. Hartenstein would be perfect, but that won't happen, sadly. No, that won't happen. With teams overinflating value for role players, would it be worth targeting O'Neal or Trent Jr. with both on expiring contracts? I think we can get him for multiple second-round picks, and that's what I've said. I think the Lakers have 3 players they should that I think that they have on their whiteboard from Toronto, and that's Gary Trent Jr., Bruce Brown Jr., and Dennis Schroeder. Like, I think they are going to check in and continually check in on all 3 of those guys, because I think they can get any of those 3 for Gabe. You wouldn't need filler for Dennis, but for Gary Trent Jr. and Bruce Brown, you would have to send Gabe some filler and some seconds, right? So I think the Lakers are going to have frequent conversations with Toronto about all three of those guys. And honestly, I would take any of those three. I would have a priority list, but I would take any of those three because all three of them fit what the Lakers need. You think Hayes can build off of this, or was that just a one-off game? I want to say it's a one-off game, but I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's not. But I haven't seen enough. I haven't seen anything from him this season that indicates that this is he's capable of doing this consistently. I never saw it in New Orleans. Haven't seen it here. I would love to. I just haven't seen it before. So I would have to guess on something that I've never seen before outside of a moment or two. And I don't like those odds. Ontario says, I wouldn't be mad if we get either Sexton or LeVert. They're certified buckets. Yeah, we definitely need a bucket getter for sure, man. Anthony Paris said, trade 2 first-round picks for DFS. We can't. We only have 1 first-round pick we can move, and I would not send that out for Dorian Finney-Smith. Not 2 first-round picks. True, but his pace is slow. It seems athletic players thrive with speed and fast pace. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Did you watch Dejounte versus Booker? I saw it on earlier. Like I said, I think I saw him go 1 for 8 for 3 tonight, but I didn't see the whole game because I was out with family tonight. Got home and came straight here to do my live. But I've got some games on in the back right now, but I'm doing the show. But I'll check out some games later on tonight, some tomorrow, some replays. 3-team D'Lo for LeVert, then flip D'Lo for Dinwiddie. But why would Atlanta want Dinwiddie? He's an expiring. Or I mean, I'm assuming that's what you mean. Or wait, no, 3-team deal. So D'Lo for LeVert, then flip D'Lo for Dinwiddie. So the third team involves Cleveland, LA, and Brooklyn without Atlanta. So I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to construct here. Or actually, no Dinwiddie, 3 D'Lo for LeVert, then D'Lo for Royce O'Neal would be nice for the Cavs. Like I said, I don't know what framework you're throwing together here. Lakers get LeVert, Cavs get O'Neal, and Nets get D'Lo back. Oh, okay. Thank you. You were losing me there, man. But I like LeVert. LeVert is a bucket getter. Really, really good bucket getter. But is he, like I said, getting rid of D'Lo for LeVert? Like, does that take us? How different is this team with that? LeVert would be someone I would love to add as an addition. Like move Gabe's money and stuff like that. Like moving D'Lo for someone like that's kind of on an even pillar doesn't make the team better, in my opinion. What is your thoughts about Suns targeting and possibly getting Miles Bridges? Well, they don't have a ton of options. That would make sense for them why they'd want to do it, but they probably wouldn't be able to keep him. So this would be a 1-year rental. But that's how they're going to have to operate right now because they don't have a ton of ways to improve their team. So someone like him would make sense for them. So I think it could happen. Just a matter of, will it happen? Trade Austin Reeves in the first for DFS. I wouldn't do that trade. I would trade him for Murray, but I wouldn't do that for DFS. I wonder how trade meetings go. Like, it's funny because I've actually, talked to a lot of people, have a lot of insight on this, and I've actually listened to people break down how a particular trade has gone down. And it all really depends on a few things. 1, the relationship you have with the other team. 2, the relationship you have with the agent, because the agent can have a lot of influence here, especially if it's a star player. Especially if it's a star player and that agent has multiple star players and an organization doesn't want to really upset that agent, but also doesn't want to do a deal that doesn't benefit their franchise, but if there's a way that works for both parties, and they try to make things work a little bit. So it depends. No situation is identical. You have some that are similar, but there's ones, a lot of them aren't identical. It's not just, you got guys who are a little bit more liberal. There's guys that are a little bit more conservative. You got guys that are just really high risk averse, and you got other guys who just don't like to take any risks. They want sure things. You got other guys who strictly value first round picks. You got other guys who value particular type of players in trade or particular age brackets in trade. So there's a lot of different ways of why these go down and how negotiations happen. Are you a cap strap team? Are you not a cap strap team? Are you a team that's looking to dump salary? Are you a team that's able to take on salary? So all these things are based around which direction you're trying to run your franchise with. Are you being like a OKC? Are you being like they were? Are you being like a Washington? Are you being like these teams who are willing to take on bad salary, like Charlotte might be doing now too? Are you willing to take on bad salary for a year or two if you get compensated with draft compensation as a result in that? So that's different versus someone who's looking to make a win now move. So these talks are all based around these different scenarios, which is what makes these things happen. So I've talked to people who have covered multiple different trades and who have talked to organizations after the fact and kind of got most of the ins and outs of what happened there. And it's kind of really cool how these all break down. And sometimes it's literally as easy as, hey, thinking about moving this guy. Would you have any interest in this guy? And who would you give? Like, who would you offer if I told you they were available? And they're like, oh, I love so-and-so. I'll give you do. And boom, a trade is done. Like that quick. I've seen, like, I've heard like how that's happened. I've also heard, someone told me a story one time that a guy called another GM and was like, I'm going into the season. I'm a little heavy at this position. Thinking about moving, either one of these guys. They play the same. I like them both, but I don't value one over the other. If I were to move either one of these, if you like, what would you give me for either one of these? And the guy's like, I'm good right now. I don't have any interest in that. We're going to go in another direction. Cool. They hang up. Then he gets a call. The other guy who passed on that deal called the other GM 4 minutes before the trade deadline that season and said, I'll take him now if you still want to move. And they did it like that quick. Like it was a 45-second call, like months after they originally spoke, just in regular random communication. And then 4 months later, he called and said, I'll take that deal now if it's still on the table. And that's how these things go down. They're not all the same. And it's kind of cool like that, right? So, and that's why. So these guys don't always know. That guy did not know he was going to get that call 4 minutes before the deadline, that he was going to accept that deal 4 months later. He didn't know that at the time. But he called and they had 4 minutes to decide, and they sent the info to the league. And that's how these things go down. Man, knowing media people is so awesome. It's so incredible. If Golden State Warrior trades CP3 and he gets bought out, he'd be good as a backup. Yeah, I would take CP3 on a minimum as a backup. I wouldn't trade for him. Just like I said earlier in the season, nor would I sign him to more money. But as a buyout candidate on a minimum, just to have another vet, yeah, like I would probably take someone like him. And like I said, for those of you guys who haven't heard me mention this before about my trade idea of what I think Golden State and Chicago should do, I think Golden State needs to break it up at this point. I know it's tough to do. It's a hard pill to swallow. You got multiple championships with these guys. You had a former dynasty. It's fallen apart. You got to try to salvage the final years of Steph's career here. You've got to make a drastic move here. If I'm Chicago and I'm Golden State, I get on the phone with each other. And if I'm Golden State, like I said, I'm offering Clay, I'm offering Kuminga and Saric and CP3's money to Chicago for Zach LaVine, Vukovic, Caruso, and Lonzo Ball's money. That's what I'm doing. That trade helps both teams. It gets Chicago out from under contracts they no longer want, and it helps Golden State get players who can help them play and win now. Not necessarily a championship, maybe not, but it improves their roster, and I think they're a better team. That's a no-brainer trade for me for both sides. Call each other. Or just let me talk to them for you, man. Joe says, R.I.P. Carl Weathers. Facts, man. Rest in peace to that brother, man. Incredible legacy he has left behind. The kid, thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat, man. Thank everyone for their super chats when they find it in their heart to do so. I appreciate you. Thank you, the kid, man. God bless, big bro. Been rocking with you heavy lately. Hey, thank you, man. I'm extremely happy you rocking with us over here. That's what we do this for. So greatly appreciate you, man. And like I said, you gave a super chat, which from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. But just spending the time dropping a like on the video and becoming a subscriber, man. That right there is all I can ask, but you went further than that. So I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for continuing to rock with us over here. Doesn't go unnoticed, and we greatly appreciate you. Thank you, bro. D'Lo complaining to the ref instead of sprinting on defense was frustrating, and that happened many times in the Celtic game. Yeah, he does that. Multiple players do that. That seems to be a it seems to be just something that just that happens around the league often, man. Why is there trade chatter around Spencer Dinwiddie? Help me understand. I'd rather keep D'Lo. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. Like the Dinwiddie, Nicholas, the Dinwiddie would have to be in a bigger deal. Like D'Lo for Dinwiddie just would be retarded to me. Now, if the move, this is the move that I've everything that I've seen with Brooklyn is like D'Lo and Rui for like Spence, DHS, and Royce O'Neal. I got to look at the money. There's something else, but like I said, it's a bigger deal. It's not just D'Lo for Dinwiddie, because that would be malpractice to me. Like I would think, what is going on here? Why would the Lakers even like consider that deal? Like I don't think they would. So, but that would be like a bigger deal. So I don't think that's happening there. What's up, the kid again? I got your super chat. See you posting here. So once again, I greatly appreciate you, my guy. Everyone likes share and sub. Absolutely. Tina Guzman, and last game we got burned every time, as I remember. D'Lo not sprinting back. That happens from time to time. Multiple players do it. Even the superstars do that, man. I feel like we're not going to make a trade. We would have done it already. No, I mean, they're going to make a trade. But as far as they would have done it already, they're trying. But again, JSJ, I'm trying to tell you, man, these other teams are waiting. They want to know what other teams' offers are going to be. And Woj said it best today. This is a deadline-driven league, and teams are going to wait to see what these other teams' top offers are, man. Jeff would like Chris Dunn, POA defender. I would love Chris Dunn. Absolutely. Especially if you can get him on the low, because he's not a big money player. Like, man, I would love Chris Dunn, man. Straight up point of attack defender. He played some D. I saw a stat. He held Tatum to 0 for 6. Excellent point of attack defender. Facts, Brandon. Been talking about him for a while. Malik Monk is a shot chucker. He's a shot chucker, but I'm talking about he has more like just talent and skill. Austin has a lot of grit. He has a lot of will in him. He when he gets going, he gets hot, he can do it. But he also has a lot of inconsistencies at times too. But yeah, Malik Monk can be a chucker. Absolutely can be a chucker. Monk also had a worse IQ than Westbrook when he was with us. That's what I was saying about why I think that Monk is probably more skilled. I would take Austin because, like I said, fit matters. Playing off the way he plays off stars matter. Malik Monk is not a gifted defensive player either. So I would probably choose Austin, but I love Malik Monk. Hey, Craig, what's going on? Thanks for pulling up, man. Cam Thomas is a certified bucket. Absolutely. I don't think the Nets are moving him, no, Brendan. I don't think they are. Gemini, what's going on, man? He says, I hope we get more of Hayes. That's the issue with him. He forgets about his centers and forgets he has depth. Yeah, and sometimes he absolutely forgets. That's a fact. But sometimes these guys remind him as to why they don't play him. Because Jackson Hayes has been given more opportunities than Christian Wood, and he's fumbled it multiple times. And when Christian Wood seems to get his opportunity, he's been continuing to fumble it too. Like, he just has had too many bad games out there when it's his turn to step up, including last night's game. So Christian Wood needs to be better when he's given opportunities, and he hasn't. And Jackson Hayes, same. I don't want to get caught up in the moment and think that what we saw from Jackson Hayes last night just goes and takes away from all the bad that we've seen from him all season. I'm not going to do that. I'm realistic, I didn't get too excited when we got Jackson Hayes because I watched him play in New Orleans. Like, he's not players like that, teams don't just let walk away, for free, unless they've given up on them. And sometimes they make mistakes. Sometimes someone makes the mistake of thinking they can turn them into something else that other team couldn't. And right now, I think that's the case with Jackson Hayes. I want to be wrong. I hope he plays better. I hope he comes out. But Jackson Hayes is not really a guy that you're going to be able to count on much come postseason. I don't think so. Please no Dennis Schroeder. I'd be down with Gary Trent Jr. and Bruce B. I'll take any of those three, to be honest, man. Any of those three. Let's see. Controversial says LeVert is decent defender, is bigger, can handle the rock and score as well, shoot and slash. Yeah, I like LeVert, but he's had some injury problems too. But I definitely like him for sure. Who do you like in the buyout market? Daniel Gallinari, Hayward, Joe Harris. So Joe Harris is not the Joe Harris from Brooklyn anymore. He's just not. Um, Gallinari is an intriguing. He's someone that I have written down in my notes. I haven't talked about him too much though. But Gallo was interesting. I think he'd be a good piece for someone to pick up. However, I think Gallo on his money, he's one of those guys that's going to be able to be picked up by one of the teams that are over the first apron. So I think there'll be heavy competition for him. Hayward would be my guy because Hayward is a guy that a lot of other teams will not be able to get because they're over the first apron, and the Lakers would be able to get him. So I think the competition for Hayward would be less. Plus, I think he's better than the other one. So I think that benefits the Lakers. So Gordon Hayward would be my choice. He'd be my number one. Gallinari would be 2. Harris would be 3 of these 3 you put on the screen. Dan Inspiration, what's going on, man? Murray is 1 of 8 3-point, but 7 of 17 overall, 5 assists, 8 rebounds, 1 turnover, plus 10, 7 for 8 on free throws. Yeah, good game outside of the 3 for sure, especially that plus 10. That's huge, and only 1 turnover. That's the first thing. Those are the first 2 things that jump off the sheet for me. But yeah, 1 for me. But I'm talking about when you got a player like Murray who you're going to trade for, and you're going to hope you're trying to improve shooting. His 3-point shooting is going to be counted on heavy over here. So that's something he would absolutely have to work on. Tiger, what's good, man? Thanks for pulling up. I appreciate you, man. Empire Jeff TV. Why do you think Dejounte deleted his IG? I have no idea. I don't play the tea leaf game. I don't do that. Like, dudes are trolling, dudes are messing with people. He could have been told by his agent, look, get off social media. When it comes to that stuff, I never look too much into that stuff because I've seen things that they'll go down and everyone absolutely believes that it's signaling something, and it turned out to be nothing. I don't react to emojis. I don't react to social media activity. I don't, because at the end of the day, they're not controlling the process. The team is. And they may want out of there, or they may want a deal to happen. But if the team decides not to do it, their activities on social media mean nothing. So while it's entertaining, I get it. And I get why people fall for it. I really don't. So we'll sit back and wait and see if it's something or if it's nothing. But me, I don't really pay too much attention to it because 9 times out of 10, it's nothing. I knew Ham was a bad coach when he said he wants Westbrook shooting as many wide open corner threes and that he don't care about percentages. Yet he don't say that with D'Lo. He was trying to salvage Russ, though. It was a kind of a different situation. He was kind of give him confidence and trying to buy him some time if he missed those shots. I get why he said it, but I disagreed with the strategy. I agree with you there. But he was just, when Darvin came in as a salesman, man. He came in here talking a big game. And you know what sucks is typically I don't fall for that. Typically I do not fall for it. My first thing, that's why one of the reasons I didn't like Mark Jackson. It's one of the reasons about Doc Rivers. Those guys who can sit there and just get you to eat out of the palm of their hands when they talk are usually the guys who can't coach. And I know that. And that's why when it came to Darvin Ham, I knew better, but I didn't trust my own values and instincts on that. I fell for it. And shame on me, I won't fall for it again. But that's what it is. Those guys who speak well with words, who are just loudmouth, who are salesmen out there, and he's great at that. But at the end of the day, that'll get you in the room, but it ain't gonna keep you there if you don't know X's and O's and you can't adjust. Kurt, what's going on, my guy? Thanks for pulling up. Appreciate you, man. Hey, Jeff. Hey, JSJ. Chat. Great news. Vanda was injured, so we can get Prince and play 84 minutes a game, man. Multiple overtimes, huh? That's crazy. That's crazy. Nicholas says, are the Lakers still a high destination for buyout players this season? Hayward and Lowry, at times it feels like we are sinking ship. Yes, they are, because majority of the league can't sign them because of their buyout status, because of the money they make, because they make more than a full mid-level exemption. Majority of the other contenders are not allowed to sign them. So that's what makes the Lakers a contender. So, yes, they will absolutely be in contention to sign these guys, mainly because of lack of options, to be honest with you. But again, that is a strategy that the Lakers chose, and that's why they kept that roster spot open. And another trade may free up 2 roster spots. So they'll have 14 and 15 open to sign 2 buyout guys. So, yes, I do think the Lakers would be a high destination because, like I said, anyone over the first apron won't be able to sign a buyout guy over the full mid-level. Jeff, it's funny. We beat the Celtics, no AD and Braun. Haters twisted to Braun holding back Ham. Yeah, right. That proves they don't want the Lakers, watch the Lakers or Ham if they believe that nonsense. There's so many narratives, Gemini. There's so many narratives. The narratives are so wild. Like I said, the reactions that people do to social media activity, to reports, to all these things. And I get it. It's why they do it. It's why they do it. Is because people can't help themselves, right? And it's entertaining. Like I said, it's excitement. It's excitement. I'm not gonna lie. It's like a twist in a movie, right? It's people get excited. We're passionate about this. We want to cover everything. Like I understand it. We want to be part of something. We want to comment on something. I totally get it. I understand it. I don't have a problem with anyone doing that. My thing is like I think we just got to get better at realizing that finally to understand that most of this stuff is nothing, and which is why I don't react to a lot of it. You know what I mean? Because majority of it is nothing. It means nothing. What people say in these narratives, majority of the time they lead to nothing, and that's why I don't waste too much time with them. Isaac Okoro, Lakers should look into. I mean, they're gonna look in. I'll tell you this about Rob. Rob looks into everything. He's gonna look into everything. Now, what he looks into versus what is actually available are going to be two different things. But he's gonna look into it for sure. Everyone like, subscribe, and let's get to 420 likes. That's what's up. Let's see where we are right now. I haven't paid attention. I haven't done the push bunch of this video, man. Shame on me here. So we got 70 people in the building right now with 48 likes. So come on, do me a favor, man. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Roughly, I don't know, 30 to 35% of the people who come in here and watch every single night have yet to subscribe. So you're here every night, man. You're watching the videos. Drop a like on the video, man. Subscribe to the channel. Even become a member. We got 3 different levels of membership: mini mid-level, and full mid-level, where you're going to have some member-only videos and some giveaways. I got some exciting news coming when it comes to the Dodgers. Working on that as we speak. I'm going to do some giveaways very soon on this channel, the members only at that point. Now, obviously, I'll do some like raffles for Court Kings gear and some other things in the chat for those who aren't members. I will still continue to do that. But the members are going to get some stuff, man. The members are going to get some insight on some stuff and some surprise stuff shortly, man. So go ahead and become a member over at Empire Jeff TV. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and also moderators, do me a favor, continue to put that playback link in the chat. I need everyone to go over to playback.tv/Empire Jeff TV, become a member over there, and pull up with me tomorrow night to watch the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Lakers play. And I have 20 free VIP passes. Basically gives you free NBA League pass as long as you're in the room with me tomorrow night. And any other game that I cover, I have 20 free passes to give out to people to watch games with me. And you basically get League Pass for free if you show up early. So go ahead and do that. Like I said, playback.tv/Empire Jeff TV. Pull up over there, become a member, so we can have, more people in the building tomorrow night when we do the Knicks versus Lakers. And I'm looking forward to see some more people over there tomorrow. Like I said, last night's game was incredible, man. We had a lot of fun. My man LOE pulled up in the second half. My man Chris, the graphic god, was there with me in the first half. We had a great chat. Everything was great for my first show, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking like, man, I could sure pick it, right? I'm gonna go in and pick this game that the Lakers are gonna get killed at, and they actually went in there and won it. So my first game on Playback TV was incredible, and I hope to see you guys there on the next one, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I can see Thunder trading multiple first-round picks for Caruso, still have like $1 billion left over. I could too. I could definitely see that. I think we should trade for Spencer Dinwiddie and Otto Porter Jr. This way we have 2 guys who could be Wilt's kids. That's hilarious. What's going on, Frank? Thank you for pulling up, man. I appreciate you. Could bringing in Stanley Johnson again for a limited role be a good idea if no deal pans out? I'm assuming you said bringing back a third 3-and-D player. Like I said, Stanley Johnson. I'm not rooting against the guy getting a spot on the in the league. I'm not sold on what he could do for this team. He's had multiple workouts with multiple NBA teams, and no one's giving him a chance. So, for his sake, sure, why not? Like, give him a chance again, see what he can do. We've proven he can play hard. He can do some things. That Laker team he played on was pretty terrible. There were minutes for him. I'm not sure what type of minutes he would even get on this team. And the more I think about it, like if we strike out to the point where we have to go get a guy who hasn't been in the league for a year, that's probably not a good thing for the Lakers at that point. G-Dog says, would you like Dejounte Murray or DFS and O'Neal? I would prefer Murray, but I think DFS and O'Neal are more realistic. Trade D'Lo for Patty Mills. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Rocco not getting any burn in Philly either. What's funny is Rocco getting traded somewhere else and bought out and going back to the Clippers could be a possibility, man. That is That's not a good. That's not that's not good for the league. But yeah, he's not really getting any burn. I wouldn't mind him. He's not making a ton of money. He can fit into a slot like a Gabe Vincent trade there. So with Joel going down, what's Philly going to do here? What are they going to do? Do they move to buy? Do they bail on the season? Do they move Tobias Harris now, who's a pending free agent? Like, do they move some of these guys that they got for the Clippers? Like, what do they do here? That Embiid injury is so jacked up, man. Totally kills their season. If it ends up being a torn meniscus there. So what do they do here? I don't know. Like, Maury is a hard dude to figure out. He's a weird cat, man. As soon as you think he's going to do something, he does something else, and that's just kind of how he operates. Let's see. Is Rocco a possible pickup? I think he could be. Like I said, he's one of those guys that haven't been talked about a lot. I was talking, actually, that's what I'm saying. I was actually talking to some Clipper fans the other day, and they were like, they were breaking down, like, because I was asking them, some of the guys who cover the Clippers were like on PSF, on Playback, YouTube. I talked to a lot of different content creators, and talking to them about that, and they're saying, don't sleep on Rocco coming back to the Clippers if he gets traded somewhere and bought out. So first thing I did was look at the money and see if it was eligible. Like, oh shoot, he is. So that's something that could happen. And obviously the Lakers would have a chance in him too. I know we had some issues there last year with Ty Lue, but it seems like they kind of patched it up and got that kind of, he was playing more, this year. So we'll see if that does happen. But he'd be a guy that'd be under the radar guy that the Lakers could potentially go out and get, that no one's talked about a lot. So that's absolutely one for sure. The narrative around Westbrook unfairly being scapegoated by the Lakers is so annoying. Like, it's his contract and what we gave up to get him. We still haven't recovered. Yeah, I know. But again, narratives. This is what people don't understand. They're out there just reading what's online versus watching the games, knowing the actual information. This is what I'm talking about, narratives and people reacting to reports on social media. This is why I don't do it, right? So the contract, like Russ on this team, probably it would be a much better fit than Russ on the team that he was, because we had to split up his salary to get 3 players. But bringing Russ back on $3 or $4 million, playing 15 minutes a game with guys and running the wing with him, he would be ideal in that type of situation. But the situations and context matter. The Russ that we had with that team was not ideal. The situation he's on with the Clippers is a much better situation for him and the team, which is why it works. Also, getting rid of him, we went to the Western Conference Finals. It worked out for both parties involved. The Lakers went to the Western Conference Finals. Russ found a home. So again, it's one of those things where it worked out for both. It wasn't working out together. It worked out once they separated. I don't understand why people have to make it bigger than it is after the fact, when everyone clearly knew what was going on. It was also the same people that were making fun of the Lakers on Russ's missed shots and clanks that all of a sudden, take up for him now, which I find interesting. The long right, Davian Mitchell, Chris Dunn are some of my margin guys. I don't see us making any big swings until the offseason. Maybe, but again, if they go in and they handle business these next 2 games, like if you're the players, you want to send a clear signal to Rob Pelinka these next 2 games, like, we want to fight for this season. Like, go get us help now. We're committed. Like, you want to prove to your front office to spend. You want them to spend. But if you go out here and dog it these next 2 games and lose the 2 of them, then you're signaling to him that you guys aren't it. And maybe he just makes moves to get dudes off the roster and then do a big move in the offseason. But we'll have to see. Like I said, these next 2 games are going to be pretty telling leading up to the trade deadline. Do you think Gabe Vincent will be moved? I think there's a good chance he could be. If you guys been watching the channel, I've been talking about that for a while. His money with Taurean Prince and a minimum guy, and there is filler, can get you a pretty decent player. It could get you Bruce Brown. Now, you'd have to throw in some second round picks at least, but the money would work. You can get a good player with moving those guys. So Gabe is definitely in play. It's just a matter of what moves do you have that you prioritize over a move what you can move with those, and what teams lines up for that. Austin Reed's for Weissman. That's comedy. What's going on with the Heat? I don't know. That Jimmy rumor is kind of odd, and I find it weird that a Jimmy rumor flew out there, and around the same time when LeBron one did, LeBron's people came out there and shut that down quick, and there's no one out there shutting down the Jimmy one. I don't think he gets moved. I just felt it was awkward. Didn't make any sense to me. I've noticed there aren't a ton of point guards, especially star point guards, that play defense. They try at times, but they don't play defense like that. No, you got like Jrue Holidays, like the guys out there who actually like really do it, but they aren't a guy that's going to get out there and get you 30 either. So when you see like the really high octane offensive guys, all of their energy goes to offense, man. They're pushing pace. They're out there. They're running nonstop. They don't have a lot in the tank to play competitive, aggressive defense. So that's kind of way it is. When you find like a guy who can get you, who's capable of getting dirty from time to time, but averages like 18 to 22, and then is a really solid defender, like those guys I almost value more, because if you got a guy that scores 30, but he's giving up 27, 28, then he's not causing separation. Now, if he's clutch and he's hitting shots, buckets in the clutch, and obviously there's value there. But if you got a guy averaging 18, 20, 22, but it's capable of holding that guy below that, and then you got tremendous value there, because he's probably your third scoring option, and he's potentially could keep one of their one or two scoring options below their averages, and that's where you have value. So, but you're right, there's fewer of those guys in today's NBA, but those guys are still very, very impactful. Very impactful. Lakers front office fell for Darvin Ham like Springfield fell for the Monorail. That's crazy. Been scanning the trade machines for a backup center. I can't find anyone not named Nick Richard and Andre Drummond. Do you have someone in mind? Yeah, so I'm saying it's tough this year. I'm curious to see what the Clippers do with their three bigs. I don't think they're doing anything with Zoo, but they may have to make a decision between Tice and Plumlee. So keep an eye on those guys, because if they make a move for someone else, I don't know if the Clippers go into the playoffs or past the trade deadline with three centers. So just keep. They need a power forward, and there's some other things that they need. So I don't know if they need those three bigs. So keep an eye on that. The buyout market, I'm not entirely sure who becomes free from a big man perspective, but just keep an eye. But yeah, if you're scanning the trade market, then Richards, Drummond, maybe a Valanciunas. Outside of that, I don't know. Like, I don't know right now when it comes to bigs. Tiger said, I'll support you, bro. I just subscribed and like, hey, appreciate you, Tiger. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. We out here putting in the work. So I appreciate it when people show up. Appreciate what they hear. Appreciate the community in the chat and join. So we greatly, greatly appreciate you. And like I said, in the meantime, guys, head over to playback.tv/EmpireJeffTV and join us over there on playback.tv for tomorrow night's game, the New York Knicks versus Los Angeles Lakers. Again, I have 20 free VIP passes where you can watch the game on the screen with me while we do live commentary. So appreciate who have signed up already. Again, please head on over to playback.tv/EmpireJeffTV and become a member to watch the games for free with me tomorrow night. I noticed you from the locker room with Reg. Oh yeah, Reg's my guy, man. Reg is my guy. Shout out to Reg, man. Yeah, I watch that show nightly. Reg is my guy. So appreciate you, man. So if you saw me over there, then you're probably rocking in the chat, right? So I'm in Reg's chat a lot. So appreciate you for finding me over there and coming over here and subscribing. We greatly appreciate you over here, man. Always count on Jeff to make the drive enjoyable. Hey, thank you, Dontario, man. I appreciate you, man. I'm that late night dude, man. I'm the after party. I'm the nightlife over here, man. Just trying to find my my hole in the market here. You know what I mean? So I like this time slot. It works. Like I said, I'm the son, the nephew, and the grandson of nothing but a long line of truck drivers, man. So I always loved when you had like those radio DJs and then dudes that held it down for them on the road. And if I can do that for people out there driving right now and listening now, I had people in the chat and on DMs all telling me like it really affects us, and it really like builds us up and really gives us confidence and makes us want to do this more and more when we get these messages. Like hearing messages of hearing people that say they start their morning off listening to me the next day. It's always been my goal and my dream to like be like a radio show talk host or like like a sports anchor, like, and be able to do this. So it was my dream when I was younger. Like I just never put the time into it. I never chased it like I should have. I had other responsibilities I had to handle, but it's never too late to try to chase a dream, right? So doing this now on YouTube and on playback and all these other things, PSF and all that stuff, and then someone say like they start their morning listening to me, like, man, that's special, man. Like that's just crazy, because that's always been a dream of mine. Like people wake up and hear me talk sports on their drive to work, or at night before they go to sleep. Like like when we used to walk Sports Center back in the day. That's what I want to bring to this community. And like I said, the fact that people look forward to my show every morning when they get up to hear what I talked about the night before, and that's incredible, man. That's just it's so surreal. It's so surreal. It seems fake to me. It doesn't seem real. You know what I mean? So I know it's real, and I feel the appreciation, and it's just it's something that I've wanted for a long time, and I'm just happy I finally pursued it. And it's just special, man. So like when Don's out there driving on the road and other people who aren't like I get cash apps all the time from people that I have no idea who they are. Like they're not people who are normally in the chat. They don't comment. I'm sure they like and subscribe, right? But I never hear from them. But I get these cash apps, and it's just like, and it's not when I'm doing the show. It's like the next morning or in the middle of the night. So I know it's people that like work overnight, who are like all the truck drivers, or people who listen in the morning when they get to work. And it's like it's incredible because the amount of money, the amount of like time and money that we spend on our shows and equipment and all this stuff to get it going. So when we see people that spend the time with us, that's all we really care about, right? Is the time. So like I said, you can Don driving on the road. Angel tells me all the time. I've got other people that message me in DM, like I listen to you, like I went back listen to your last 3 shows on my whole drive, went out for work, and it's just incredible, man. That's exactly what I do this for. So it's not just to get here and provide you with the content, but it's to provide you with the content you can count on and bring none of that BS up here. My show is all about the content, and I appreciate you guys appreciating it, man. And drive safe, Ontario, man. Graphic God, what's going on, my brother? What's up, Chris? Thanks for pulling up, bro. I appreciate you, man. My voice is cracking here. It's cold outside tonight, man. Why haven't we signed a player on a 10-day contract like Bismack? The Lakers don't like to spend that money, man. Like the tax on a 10-day contract, even though it seems minor to us, it adds up. And if they sign him and then sign him a second and continue and get other guys on 10 days, it just goes more into that tax, and they just don't want to do it right now. We need DTLF and Dime Dropper, the Clipper version of Dan, to do a video that would be fun. Dan might be a part of it. It's funny. I talked to Dime Dropper, man. That's my guy, man. Shout out to Dime Dropper, man. He was in here last night. I'm actually trying to line up a show with him, actually. But it would be great if Dan was on that too. That would be hilarious. That would be crazy. Dime Dropper's got an incredible platform, man. He's dope at what he does. Obviously, Dan's the GOAT for Laker Nation. That would be cool. That would be cool. But I've actually been talking with Dime Dropper, man. He's a cool dude. Him and JC, who covered the Clippers over at PSF, both good dudes over there, man. Cam Whitmore killing it right now. Pissed me off. How did we not go for a wing who can shoot like that, or a guy like Jaime over another guard that can't shoot? I get people being upset that we missed out on them or didn't go for them. I understand that. A lot of teams passed on both those guys. One is Jaquez wasn't rated that high. Whitmore was rated high, but a lot of teams had questions with his character, and he had a knee situation. I will say that it looks bad right now, and it may look bad 2 years from now as well. But when it comes to JHS, I've got to wait and see. This isn't a type of team where he's going to get any type of real opportunity. And so I didn't expect. But when he went down to the G League, I felt like he looked solid. And Jaime and Whitmore are getting actual opportunities, so they're going to stand out more. And they've had bad games too, but they have more opportunities to have good games. And so when it comes to JHS, he just hasn't had those opportunities yet. Fultz or Wendell? I've always liked Markelle Fultz. Obviously he had a raw deal in Philly. That guy can score more than people think. He's a gritty player. I wouldn't mind Markelle Fultz, man. I like Markelle, man. If we can pick up Tice or Plumlee, that would be great. Tice or Plumlee, yeah. And I think it might be a possibility because, like I said, I'm not convinced the Clippers are going to keep all 3. Braun in 20 years never asked or forced a trade. He always waits during the free agency process. If people believe the fake story, Braun asking for a trade, can't make stuff up. I swear. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, people are so thirsty for news, man, that they just go down that route. LeBron has technically been traded once. When he left Cleveland the first time to Miami, that was a sign and trade. But it was when he was a free agent, and it was after he picked his destination. But technically, he has been traded, but not a team trading him that, like giving up on him type of thing. You get what I mean? But he has technically been traded before. Am I in the minority in thinking the Bulls, Nets, Jazz, and Golden State Warriors should be sellers? No, you're not. Well, the Jazz is because you might be to a point where just make a run already. You got this young head coach. Let's see what this guy, let them build the culture there now. Maybe marketing is a guy that you do keep and start to build around. Like maybe you don't continue to break this up and hope to hit on a pick. When it comes to Danny Ainge, he did that in Boston, and it didn't work out for him. You know what I mean? And if he's bringing that same philosophy to Utah, I don't think the Utah owner should follow that. Like you got marketing, you've got some good players over there, you got some good young talent, you stacked up some picks. Like I get if you move Olenek, um, but some of those other guys, you should keep and build on top of it. And then maybe you can make another big deal, like maybe in the summer or next trade deadline, but something to add to your team, not break it up just for another pick. They're gonna have enough picks over there, man. Like at this point, like let's see what this young coach could do. Don't make this guy be a tanking coach every single year. Like you've got a good one over there. Let's see what you guys can do if you get into the playoffs, man. Reggie from Locker Room, always mad about dude, sounds kind of clickbaity, not gonna lie. Also, dude don't like Reese at all. He just wants stars around Braun. Sorry, he sounds unpleasant. Reggie's entertaining. Like Reggie's just there to entertain. Like he's like he talks basketball. Like he loves the game, right? But Reg, we all like who we like. There's certain players that you like or you don't like, and certain styles you don't like. He's never really trusted D'Lo. He didn't like Ham. Literally when it came to the preseason, he was the first guy. Like Mies was on it early, but I'm telling you, Reggie was first. Reggie was first. I remember thinking Reggie wild for this, bro. Like he's trying to fire an NBA head coach, like in the preseason of his rookie year. Like Mies was real early, but Reg was the first dude I heard, like the first of off top vocal about this guy in it, like by the third preseason game, bro. And so Reg is very entertaining. He's a cool dude. He's always been cool to me. I understand he's got into a few other dudes, but which is quite entertaining as well. But I rock with Reg, man. His channel is dope. He's entertaining, and like I said, I know he doesn't rock with Reeves, but like there's players that he likes. I might not rock with, and vice versa. You know what I mean? But everyone's got a preference. Everyone sees the game their own kind of way. but his show is still entertaining nonetheless. So he's a funny guy, man. You ever heated cookie dough late night? Heated cookie dough, heated or ate cookie dough? What are you talking about, man? I don't know what's going on here. Oddly nice. Are you hearing any under the radar trades? Not anything that I like most of the stuff out there. See, what comes out is some of these guys aren't even like really like reporting on anything. They're just looking at money that can be moved, right? And trying to find a fit there. A lot of these teams, especially right now, a lot of the real stuff isn't going to come out because a lot of the stuff that leaks, I'm going to keep telling you guys this. A lot of the stuff that leaks typically aren't during frequent current conversations. A lot of the stuff that leaks is usually after teams have talked and it went nowhere and it's been 7 to 10 days or 2 weeks. And now it came out, but it came out because those teams aren't talking anymore. So like right now, you're hearing about what the Lakers and Hawks talked about weeks ago. Remember, everyone keeps saying they expect to talk again closer to the trade deadline. So there's no dialogue right now as far as what's being reported. According to Woj, according to Shams, which are the two standards in our league, that's what they're reporting. So there really doesn't appear to be any dialogue between them right now. I expect for them to talk after this trip. And the Lakers, depending on how this trip goes, if they go 4-2 or if they lose these next two and then they go 2-4, then that phone call is probably a little bit different, depending on which way this road trip ends. So the Lakers are probably waiting on that before they decide, what that next step is. How's the Beagle doing? He hasn't been attacking the microphone as much lately. No, he was barking earlier in the background. That dude was getting a little hype over there, man. I don't know what he was doing, but he got a little loud earlier. I had to turn on the noise gate here on the mixer to kind of drown him out a little bit. But then he got bored and fell asleep. So he's napping right now. The terroristic Beagle. He said, I feel like there's a growing chance the Lakers will do nothing. I don't think they do nothing. I have a feeling that maybe we should lower our expectations a little bit, that the type of move we're going to get might not move the needle for a lot of people. I think that's fair. But it remains to be seen. We got to see what happens. Like I said, if teams don't get the offers they thought they would, maybe they sell a little bit lower than we think they will. John J, what's going on, man? Hi, Jeff. I still think we need a trade, and Austin is our best piece for the right trade. Also, I think our team was sending a message to Darvin that this is what we can do if we utilize correctly. I agree. He's probably their best trade chip, Doesn't mean they're going to move him, but I do think he is their best trade chip, which is why I think, like I said, he's not untouchable, but it has to be the right deal for them. And maybe I hope Darvin took a lesson from that, and I hope Braun and AD did too. To trust these guys and let them play their game. Are you going to walk us through trade articles and help us read between the lines? I mean, I could, like, if you guys want me to go break one down, but there's always usually something in there, especially if a writer is clever. They technically leave a little something in there that you can spot. And like I said, it's people run with the juicy part of an article, right? The thing that's the big, which I understand because that's what it's in there for. People run with that, but then really a lot of times in these articles, the true message is a very simple point that's in there. So when you talk about like an article that comes out about who the Lakers are talking to or who they were talking to, right? And then, they throw in there and it's just like nothing is intimate and no deal is expected soon. And people completely will leave that part out. Or they'll be like, they're talk stalled, but they expect to pick up again later. But they'll break down the whole framework of it, but don't really get to the point where, I'm talking about like people come, you hear on the radio, you hear everywhere, right? And it's like they don't talk about the most important part, which is basically they just said the deal's dead currently. You get what I'm saying? Or if they do talk about it, they kind of just gloss over it like it's a minor point. When reality is that's the biggest point in the story. And that's what I'm talking about. A lot of people miss out on that. There's another one too, is you have to understand that when they do these things, and you ever notice like Woj or Shams, they'll be like reporting with. And all they're really doing is attaching their name to someone else's article to help the company draw more clicks on someone else's story. So that one that came out that Shams reported, it was really written by Jovan Buddha. And Shams said reporting with. And even in the article, it says it was written by Jovan. But everyone took that as a Shams report. What essentially all Shams was doing was retweeting in the writer's world. And no one really catches these things. People are starting to now because I put it out there. But that's all Jeffrey, though. You're welcome. But what I'm saying is these are the things that kind of go over people's heads. And it's no one's fault. You know what I mean? Like that these people are smart. It's what they do it for. People that aren't catching it aren't stupid. It's just that they don't really know the ins and out of the game. Not the basketball game, but the media game. And the draw. And the digital marketing. And the keywords. And all these things that they use to sell engagements and clicks like they used to sell newspapers. That's all it is. But Jeffrey's a marketer. Jeffrey's a good salesman. You know what I mean? Like I know, I can see this stuff a mile away. And like I said, like I study journalism. I've talked to a lot of people in the media. Like this isn't me just talking to talk. And it just is what it is. People can believe me or they don't. I really don't care. I know where my heart is, and I know what's real. So those are the kind of the things that people need to pay attention with these things, and just don't overreact to them. Majority of these reports are nothing. Nothing. Never were anything. But people take it and run with it. And God bless them. But you can't be mad when things don't happen, when 90% of the times these reports come out and lead to nothing. You have to understand this by now. If you're not picking up what they're putting down, I can't help you. Like at that point. Love the show. What's going on, man? Laker fan, what's good? Thanks for pulling up, bro. Appreciate you, man. I'm tired of our fan base having unrealistic trade expectations as well. We should trade Gabe Vincent for KD and 2 firsts. That's wild too. Yeah, we hear some of these wild ones, man. Some absolute wild ones, man. Might as well trade LeBron for AD and AD for Zach LaVine. That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. He said still not enough. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a weird trade deadline. There's not a lot of game changers out there right now. Right now. Keyword again. Right now. Doesn't seem to be right now. Dontario says, you've given me a new perspective on these trade rumors, bro. Appreciate it. You're welcome. And that's what I'm here for, man. That's what I'm here for. Like, I'm telling you, like, at one point in time, people educated me on this. You know what I mean? And now it's my job, I feel, to help educate people how to take these things with a grain of salt. And like I said, there's a lot of information. There's a lot of content at our fingertips now. And it's really easy to get drug in and overreact to something that's nothing. And I just don't do that. It's just not what I do. You know what I mean? I never get too high, never get too low. If it's a huge win, I get excited for that win, but I'm on to the next one. If it's a horrible loss, I hate it, turns my stomach. I come in here, I do my job, I create content on it, and I go on to the next one. I'm a diehard Laker fan, but the fan that watches the games versus the guy who covers the games, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to be, like I said, it's just I'm trying to be like a good balance here. You know what I mean? And it's just this team can be very, very frustrating. And last night's win was so dope, so dope. I celebrated that. I loved it. But again, but I'm not going to act like this team turned a corner. I need to see that corner being turned. You don't turn a corner on the next game, on the last game. You turn the corner on the next game in that game. So I need to see this game tomorrow night. I need to see how they start this game tomorrow night. And we'll know rather quickly if this Laker team is starting to figure things out. If they get down 15 out the gate, then they learn nothing in Boston other than they caught the Celtics slipping. I need to see more. We need to see more to get trust back in this team. Do you think we should fire Ham and hire the rookie head coach? I've said, like I said, look, if it were me, this is just if it were me, I would dismiss Ham because I don't think he can be salvaged. Like I don't think he has a chance. Even if he figured things out and did well, I think people are they're so past having an open mind about him, but having a chance to grow as a coach that nothing he could do will be right. And I'm not saying he's going to do right. I want to be clear about that. I'm just saying people just are dying on that hill. They've gone so far, they can't come back. So he can't win even if he wins. And then you're giving the players a permanent scapegoat, an excuse to just blame him for everything. I mean, deservingly so, obviously. But at times when it's not, like they blame Ham for everything. A player could have the worst game of his career. They're going to blame Ham, even if he had nothing to do with it. And when you're in a situation like that, you kind of you have to make a change, whether it's deserving or not, because it's what's best for the team. And because I said I don't think there's any coming back for him. Like he can't be saved. He can't be salvaged. Like I said, there's too much internal bleeding when it comes to this situation. The narrative is so bad, whether people believe it to be true or not, whether people who defend him or don't defend him, people who can't stand him or people still want to give him time, it doesn't matter. At this point, like the trust is gone, right? So if it were me, but it's not my money. If it were me, I would dismiss him just to get that excuse out of the building and then see what these players are really made of. And is it all him or is it more of what I think it is? A combination of Ham, the players, and the roster that Pelinka put together didn't work like we all thought it would. Also, the league is just a lot more talented. There's a lot of better teams this year. The West is stacked. There are more teams in the East that are better than we thought there would be. It's just tougher competition on top of that. But if you listen, like I said, you guys heard what the We Talk Mavs crew when I was on their show. If you listen to these other content creators who cover other teams, they have a lot of the same concerns and complaints about their head coaches and role players that we do, and owners that we do. This is not unique just to happen in the Laker Nation. The narratives of people wanting to blame everyone but their favorite player, or have too much pride and don't want to admit that their team might be ass right now. They've got to have a scapegoat, and that's just how it is. In every sport, there are Dodger fans who will blame Dave Roberts for everything, even if he had nothing to do with it. Just like you have Laker fans that will blame Darvin Ham for everything, even if there's something he didn't have anything to do with. Now, does that mean that Dave Roberts is perfect and hasn't done anything to deserve blame? No. Does it mean that Darvin Ham is the same? You get what I'm saying? But it's too far gone now. Too far gone. One more thing, Jeff. Don't you think Bismack is too small for our purposes? He's like 6'8". He's small, but he's a bruiser. We need another bruiser in there. A guy who can create activity just with movement and strength and brute. Like, we need someone like that. Richard, what's going on? He said Fultz could be 3-team with Wizards. Orlando interested in ties. Depends if Wizards will eat Gabe's contract. Yeah, the Wizards will take on contracts. They will if they're compensated for doing so. We don't even know what the Lakers are going to do. That's a fact. I told everybody that the Levine rumors were basically a copy and paste from the Turner Healed rumors from last year. I knew that was smoke from the jump. Yeah, I never bought that for a second. Never. One, because I know the Lakers aren't paying it. If Levine was like $28 million a year and like only 2.5 years left on that deal, I think the Lakers would consider it. But because it's 4.5 years and that money, no. D'Lo's value is keeping the Lakers from trading him. That's true. Apologies if you've answered this, but what do you think of the draft being split into 2 days? It's a money grab. I love it. I got no problem with it. It's just a money grab. Like the NFL splits their time up. It's their chance to sell more commercials. It's everything that they're doing from the play-in tournament to the in-season tournament to now the 2-day draft. It's all about these new TV negotiations that they're having for the next TV deal to make the providers happy. So it's just a money grab, and I don't mind it. It's more content to create. Love the show says, in my opinion, they should try to trade Gabe Vincent in a second to Detroit for Wiseman and shop the buyout market for an attack guard. I just don't know what Wiseman can bring to this team. He hasn't really been able to do anything anywhere he's been. He had potential, but at some point the potential just turns into what they are. And just like Cam Reddish, everyone was so sold on that name that as soon as the Lakers got him, Cam Reddish was going to go back to the lottery pick that everyone hoped him to be, and just never happened. The guys are who they are at this point. Thoughts on Jeremy Grant, temporary Vando replacement? He's nowhere near the defensive level of Vando, and he makes a lot of money that I don't. Maybe the Lakers would get crazy and do that, but I don't think he's at the top of the list. I'm pretty sure Damari Carroll is the one playing Taurean Prince so much because they have the same style. That's hilarious. Black Mamba, what's up, man? What's good? Jeff hopped on late, going back to the beginning. Get them likes up, everyone, and subscribe. Hey, appreciate you, bro. It may take you a while to hear this because I'm about 2 hours in, but I appreciate you, man. What do you think of Kenny Atkinson as a replacement for him? He's familiar with D'Lo and Prince, especially, and letting young Nets team to play. I like Atkinson, but to me, he's more of a lead assistant. I would love him on this team as a lead assistant. I don't know about him as a head coach anymore. He's a developmental guy that has groomed into a good assistant coach. I think that's his ceiling. But if we get another coach, or God forbid we keep Darvin, I would love him as a lead assistant, though. Pay him to get him out of there. Get him over here. How does Clippers and Celtics get players on a discount? Starting to think the owners are paying the other owners under the table. Well, no, I mean, it's just guys removing them. They're getting the guys that they're capable of getting. So as far as the under the table stuff can't happen anymore past this trade deadline because there'll be a second apron team. And when Jalen's contract extension kicks in next year, they're a second apron team. So they won't be able to do that anymore as far as the Clippers go. They can't sign anyone above the mid-level if they're bought out. So they're getting like the Tice move. The Lakers could have done that. They just didn't. He did that move. But this all gets back channeled by agents. When I told you guys earlier about agents having an impact, that's what it is. Like they go, they talk, they get the release done, and they already have the team lined up. And that's just something that commonly happens. Appreciate you, JSJ. Appreciate you. You have a good night. I'm about to shut it down too, guys. I've been going 2 hours here. I got to get some rest. I got to get up early tomorrow. So just let these two, let me see here. What would happen if Braun took a discount like Tim Duncan on the Spurs? The Lakers are over the cap and already over the tax, so not really much other than save the Lakers tax. So I don't think he's going to do that. Like Tice for the Clippers, they lose a center, then bam, they get Tice. Yeah, but Tice was gotten on the minimum up to getting basically released. So any team could have gotten him, but like I said, the agent lined up back channeling, which will happen for the Lakers later this one. Everyone like, subscribe, take out your frustration of Vando being hurt on doing something positive. There we go. So let's see what we finished up here, man. We've got about 70 people in the building. We got 64 likes on the video. I appreciate that, man. Y'all can be anywhere in the world. You're here with me once again. I appreciate that. So thank you for everyone for tuning in here on a Friday night, late night, man. The after party, the nightlife over here with Empire Jeff TV. I appreciate you. One more time for the people in the back, man. Hit up playback.tv/Empire Jeff TV to catch me on playback tomorrow. New York Knicks versus Los Angeles Lakers in New York City, man. I'll have the game live on the stream. On the screen, you can watch the game with me. Pull up early. The first 20 people get the VIP pass to watch the game online with me. And hear the commentary along with some special guests. And pull up tomorrow, man. Become a member over there on Playback TV. It is free. And like I said, 20 people, the first 20 people to pull up every night that I'm watching a game gets free NBA League Pass for that night, man. So pull up over there, man. I appreciate you guys. Kurt, I appreciate you, man. Jazz J, I appreciate you, man. Search, if you're listening later, we love you. We miss you. God bless you and your family, man. Let us know if we need anything. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not so already. Hit up the playback.tv, as I mentioned, man. If you're in the comment section later, let me know what you think in the comment sections. And y'all have a safe Saturday. I'll catch you for tomorrow's game, man. Let's see if the Lakers can get on a little 2-game winning streak, hoping to go 3 in a row to close out the winning the road trip, excuse me, in Charlotte. Y'all have a good night. I'll catch you on the next one, y'all.